was trying to I knew somebody did that to Cloud at one point, and you went crazy when that happened. You got really mad at them.
Hey,
Shouldn't you guys
Tallulah.
be picking on the bot?
Tallulah.
What?
I mean, if she's annoying you too much, I could just play my flute
No!
and annoy her back.
No, no.
What about my pen flute? I have that
No.
with me too.
No.
Okay.
I gotta go see my dog is barking her head off. Be right back.
Alright.
You know what you could do?
What?
Sit quietly.
I personally wouldn't mind to enjoy the sound of silence.
I'm gonna
That's
turn
not silent.
Can he fit out the window?
I hope so.
Because that's where he about to go.
So, you guys arrived at the port of Hellspring, quickly picked up a supposed native guide, the Tabaxi woman there with you. Got down after about 2 days to the capital of in a very rapid cab down to the capital of Firedown. You met with the king, who told you that you guys have 2 weeks to figure out who or what is causing this undead problem before he, decides to delay the construction of the railroad and take on potentially embroil himself into a war with his neighbors, or do something else that might completely cancel the project, which would not make your bosses happy in the Imaru company, because they stand to lose a lot of money if that happens. That night in town, the Tabaxi picked up a human by the name of Jason and started dragging him along because apparently he is good at research and he wanted to get down to midpoint. You decided you gauged your options, decided that the best thing to do and save your money is to just take a cab service all the way down to midpoint, which will take you. Let's see. Actually, it'll take you about 3 days. Actually, not 4, 3 days. Basically, you'll have two nights on the road, and it'll be 3 complete days to get to midpoint. And that's assuming that you don't get delayed by, really nasty attacks or something happening to the cab.
Foreshadowing.
Well, it's there's these roads in the north here are north of midpoint, north of the ancient wall, are actually fairly well patrolled, so there's usually not that much of danger up here. But things have been happening lately, and people have been moving more northward due to the attacks in the south. So there's lots more populations coming up, and sometimes that brings with it issues. All right, so you guys make it onto your cab, and it's actually quite big, and because of how many people you've got in your party, which is about 7 of you at this point, plus probably a bit of cargo, it's designed for a cab for 8 people, with a little bit of extra leg room, and of course there's speed stops that you can get off and stretch your legs. It's actually being pulled by 2 rhinos instead of 1.
Ooh.
Hey, who's paying for the extra rhino?
It's all part of the cab service.
Oh,
It's a
okay,
complimentary
never mind.
rhino.
Yeah, so you're basically issued a flat fee between the two areas, and I think one of you already paid off the
Yes,
amount.
already paid.
Yep, good. So it's 200 miles from Fire down to midpoint.
Well, we got a couple days. Does anyone want to start a band?
No.
We have
No,
a
that's-
job to
no,
do.
no, 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 no.
We don't have time for bands.
Tallulah, I could use your back as drums.
She's just gonna glare at him. Like, don't even fucking try it. And then she's just gonna like pointedly look at the window.
Jason kind of looks up from one of his books and looks at Tallulah, looks at the man who just said that, and says, "Huh? Why would you be using her back? It's not like a turtle has a hollow shell or something. It wouldn't be a fish drum with the rest of the turtle still in there."
She reaches in and grabs like a chip out of her shell.
That's kind of impressive.
She's gonna lean out the window. Keen, do you have enough snacks?
He holds up like the little bag of sausages he got, and a couple other things he picked up at the market.
You want a cabbage?
He just shakes his head.
I'd like to point out, with your appetite, you should probably save all those for yourself. Depending on how this turns out, we might have to split a few skulls.
She just takes a bite of her cabbage like it's an apple.
Not exactly.
My internet connection just kind of dropped down for a bit.
Sorry to hear that.
All good. Basically what I said was, what about Jason? He should have a couple of things to talk about, right?
Well, I need to continue my research. What sort of things do you want to know?
Well, what kind of things do you know?
Let's see. Before more than over 1,000 years ago, the area past the ancient wall was a completely different country. The Minotaurs of Hellspring conquered it, and after they, just busted down the wall and conquered it, and pretty much enslaved everybody up until about 100 years ago, where they finally outlawed slavery. I mean, I know most non-Minotaurs in the country are still sort of second-class citizens, but that's only because no one's gotten to won the throne outside of a Minotaur. So it's not like it's a rule. It's more of a, this is sort of there, and you kind of babble
It's just
for
how
a
it's
bit more.
been, not how it has to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Has anybody else tried?
Well, yeah, I think I do recall there was a half orc a couple of years back in the last king challenge in the as the potential king. But some teams, the teams that they command, for years now, since long before I was born, for the last 100 years have had non minotaurs in them, like humans, elves, orcs, half orcs. What
is it possible that maybe they could be whomever was on the other side of the wall wants to take their country back?
It's been 1,000 years,
Dutch.
but yeah, there is the what's known as the separatist faction. You occasionally see the literature passed around, but it's not. Most people just kind of shake their head at it. Most reasonable people, anyway.
The
dead are walking. I wouldn't consider it a reasonable time.
Sounds kind of suspicious, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, good thing no one did.
Hey, we can add that accent to the list.
I should just keep note of all of Caleb's accents.
Are we almost there?
So, who wants to roll me a
God, please
1d20?
don't stop.
I'll do it.
All right.
Gosh darn it. Guess what I forgot to do again?
What?
Launch roll 20. I'm loading Skeleton Army right now. I apologize.
I would roll a physical one myself at the moment, but my cat has decided that it is time to lay on my chest.
Okay, can someone else roll the d20? It's taking a long time to load.
Got
into
it.
for some reason. I'm sorry. Please don't hate me.
6.
Yeah. All right. Next person.
Oh, we're all doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
rolling it to see if we die.
And one more.
I'll do it.
All right. Okay, Tallulah,
Oh, never mind.
roll me a 1d100.
Oh no.
Oh no, Tallulah, you made us. You failed us.
Hey!
Finally sitting up. All right. It's a very nice day out. The sun is shining up in the sky. It is a very nice fall day. The 8th of feasting. And it's like you see nothing threatening, not even, passing motorists. Not motorists, but, it's kind of, considering that the majority of you, with the exception of, like, the Baxi, are from, a big noisy city, and even if you're traveling out in the country, like either by train or if you happen to have a license by car, driving in a car, it's like it's usually, pretty noisy, and usually you see somebody every once in a while, but it's been a very quiet day. You're like the only cab on the road. It's just very quiet. So it's just
This
like
is a little bit suspicious, is it not? It's quiet. Too quiet.
Jason
God
kind of
damn
looks up from his book.
I would like it to stay quiet, actually.
Well,
If you were in my unit, you'd have died the first. Are we there yet?
Well, I
Oh,
was
you
not
did.
in your unit, was I?
Thank goodness for that, otherwise I wouldn't have made it back.
you see the sun going down just as you cut to a very small, like, it's basically a very small place for caravans and cabs and other like things like that to stay, and it's was explained to you as part of the cab fee that basically these places don't serve food. That they are pretty much just a place for, basically just a tiny bed in a barrack sort of situation. But you're
It's
welcome to
literally a
camp.
roof and a bed.
Yeah, basically a roof and a bed in a shared room, with some some heat, usually a little bit of warmth, usually like a cooking fire that people can use.
Ah, so I don't know if you guys know, but part of my nighttime ritual is I have to play a song for 30 minutes before I sleep.
You're gonna have to go elsewhere to do that.
Yeah,
I
you're
could put
gonna
you
have
to
to.
sleep.
Yeah, you see several caravans at this point, most likely coming up from the south. In the caravan area where your cab has been being parked, you see supplies of fruits and vegetables loaded onto carts.
Tallulah holds up her the end of her great sword and shows it to Varus, and she's like, "Do you want me to help you sleep?"
How would that help me sleep? It looks kind of hard. I wouldn't be able to sleep on it.
You're right.
I can
but...
show you better than I can tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, demonstrate, please.
I'd love to help you with this.
Okay, you're gonna have to sit very still because I have to hit you really hard on the top of the head with this.
So is it like a magical sword that will help me sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I sit down and like do a crisscross applesauce, and I give her a big smile as I'm sitting down.
And I'm like holding my great sword, and I'm looking around like, is anybody gonna fucking stop me?
Nope.
I don't want to do
Nope.
this.
Kel
I'm
actually
not gonna
come up
stop
and
you.
say,
I don't care.
so,
Nope.
See this spot
Keenan is
right
basically trotting over to the fire to cook his sausages, so he's like,
Kel will actually go over and do the help action. Right, so you see right here, this little point, but like under his jaw on the left side, right there, we'll just get that perfect rattle, just nice and clean.
But do you think if I go into my fist, it'll be better? It won't kill him?
That might be that might be better. It's probably a slightly higher survival rate.
She's gonna put away her great sword, and she's like, "All right, I'm gonna punch you really hard."
Are your
Oh,
fists
God.
magical too?
Yes.
Ooh, magical fists.
Best slip of your life.
Yep.
What?
Best sleep of your life.
Okay. Do you want me to look at you or look at the wall?
In fact, actually, look at that cloud up there and to your right. It looks perfect at this time of year.
I'm gullible. We're inside, right?
You guys are decanting from your cab, and there's a big shared interior room with a fire pit that Keen's currently at. And there's various people, humans, minotaurs, a couple dwarves and gnomes, kind of gathering around.
So,
So
being
that's
gullible.
knock the ever-loving shit out of our party member.
So being my gullible self, I look up to see if there's a cloud inside. I'm assuming I don't see one.
No, you wouldn't see one. You'd see a wooden
Now's your
roof.
chance.
All right, I guess I'm gonna fucking hit him, but not very hard, not too hard.
You're just trying to
Hard
knock
enough
him
just to knock him out.
Yeah, enough to just make him slappy.
Also, dear, for future reference, that is what's known as non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
You can just
Okay.
say that and she'll
I
know.
want to do non-lethal damage.
Yeah, as long as you don't get like a double crit, you should be good.
Mm-hmm.
I do make the ruling though that I treat non-nuclear damage like pistol whipping somebody. That it might just knock them out, but there's still a small chance that you might kill them if they're already hurt, for example.
Ah.
But he's
Like
not
if they're
hurt.
at death's door.
Yeah, because that's happened before. It's like if you get a critical on somebody that's already hurt, and when you try to do non-lethal damage, it's unfortunate, but you kill them by accident. But yeah, that's pretty much the only. Those are like the only times when I rule that. Usually it's like fine. So
Gets a crit.
just roll a hit on him.
I don't have. Like an unarmed-
Basically roll your strength. That's what you do for non-armed strike.
Are you proficient in them?
I don't
Like,
think so.
Characters at base are proficient with unarmed strikes. They just don't get the special damage.
Yeah.
Like monk.
All right. So I'm gonna have so you get advantage on that, so that would hit. And I'm gonna have the Caleb's character roll a Constitution saving throw.
All right, I think I'm great at that. Yeah, let's find out.
All right. So her fist comes and connects with the back of your head, and it's lights out.
And
Well, that's-
if we aren't inside, I'm just gonna drag him inside.
You're like, well, that's one annoyance out of the way.
I'm gonna just look at Fangtail. Hey,
There are
you want a good night's sleep
people
too?
look at you, but look at the guy, but for the most part, they seem to be looking at you because they've never seen a turtle before. You hear a few whispers as they're staring at you.
I'm
And
just
the
gonna
first
look
time
at
they
him.
see a turtle, they see him knocking out one of their friends.
Murder.
No,
They see her knocking out one of their friends.
apparently this isn't a big thing. It's like there's a half orc carrying the limp body of somebody over her shoulder. Nobody's batting an eye.
As Tallulah walks by him, I'm just gonna look at him and be like, "Can I help you?"
Oh, this would be like far. You can basically see off in the place. There is somebody else carrying a limp body. That's like you're not like
no,
right
I
next
mean
to them.
the people that are whispering about me.
Okay. So yeah, one person, a human male, with a scruffy little beard thing. It's partially been shaved. I kind of looks up at you and goes, not sure what you are.
I'm a giant turtle.
All right.
Pulls out a cabbage leaf out of her shell and just munches on it.
Very loudly.
Roll intimidation, Tallulah.
Oh God!
Accidental intimidate. No.
Oh.
Okay.
The man seems ready to tense up, but something about Tallulah is actually more charming than scary.
Oh.
I mean, it's a giant turtle. I can't see unless she's a giant snapping turtle. Turtles aren't that menacing.
She's just like a little sea turtle. Like,
Having grown up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's turtles can look menacing if they want to.
I don't even think they they looked menacing. Well, unless you're talking about the Eastman and Laird, like.
Yeah,
comic book
I'm talking
ones.
about the original comic book ones because that's I kind of
Yeah,
watched
those
the
guys are
cartoon
kind of
show,
menacing.
but
The Archie redo and the TV show, no.
Yeah, I watched the original. I mean, I read the original comics that were in the black and white, not simply the cartoon ones.
Yep, same here.
Yeah,
I
I loved those. I actually got to
went
talk
down
to
to-
one of those guys once, but I was a little kid.
I point down to Varus. Where can I deposit my sleeping companion? Anybody?
Varus?
Is there,
Oh,
I'm
Varus
asleep.
is the guy that's asleep. That's right. Sorry.
is there like a group of open beds like? or is
Yeah,
it-
yeah. There are various cots and bunk beds, and some of them look like they'd fit Tallulah because they're designed for minotaur-sized people.
I look at Nori. Do you want him on or under a bed?
uh,
Maybe
On a
in a
bed.
barrel? Is there a barrel around?
Just rolled dice.
You gonna pickle him?
Perception
Okay.
check, Tallulah.
All right.
Ah, this is Cloud all over again. First it was
Except you're not drunk.
First it was Hamlet, now it's Varus.
In fact, yes, you do see an empty water barrel that's it's still moist inside. It's a bit soaked down at the bottom, but you do see an empty barrel.
I'm gonna look at Varus. And look at the barrel.
to,
Look back at
Tallulah.
Laura.
It looks like
No.
you'd fit.
I'm putting him in the barrel.
No.
He's going in the barrel. But I'm going to take some, if there's any like blankets or anything, and like pad the barrel so he doesn't get soaking wet.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna sit him in the barrel.
He is gonna wake up extremely confused.
Good point.
A few more people glance at you in surprise, but I think it's not the only time somebody has been put in a barrel like that in this
No,
place.
it's just
So
palming at the scene.
Keen is
Just
just
be happy.
standing there chewing on his sausage, watching.
Just be happy I
Didn't
don't
go
have to try and roll this barrel anywhere.
oh yes, the kobold eating the sausage, watching all this. That's just,
Did I put Hamlet in the barrel?
Yes.
I just remember
I'll
you
use the
putting
first
Hamlet in the
one.
bag of holding
Yeah,
all the time.
Hamlet was also surviving in a barrel that one time.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because I remember I put Anixia.
And I think you put
And
both of my
Erebus.
I think you put both of my characters in a barrel at some point.
I did not put Jesse in a barrel. I put Bob in a
okay,
barrel.
Jesse never got in the barrel, but Bob
Yeah,
did.
Jesse
No,
never got drunk enough to warrant the barrel.
Why would you put me in the barrel?
The only thing that Jesse did was he did not wear underwear. So Cloud was taking him shopping.
Excuse me, I'm always wearing underwear. I'm not that indecent.
Jesse
He
Nightstorm,
doesn't
my
realize that
character.
Grizz's old character was named Jesse.
Yeah, that's why I kept
I
misspelling your name
know.
all the time, Jesse, because Jesse.
I was making
Yeah,
a
making a
joke.
joke.
Yeah.
Jesse's a bit weird like that.
Well, see, Jesse didn't have much understanding of because he was raised around the abyss a lot. He didn't have too much understanding of gender identity or genders in general.
How many
And-
D12 did we roll in that campaign?
A couple times.
Too damn many.
Hamlet, Jesse, and Bob.
No, and Helga. We had to roll one for him too. No, he got two.
Yeah,
Two
he got the
D12.
double. He was the one of the double one in the mail form. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Good time.
Yeah. Sorry,
With Helga?
Varus- No.
but
Caleb killed him off before anything else could happen.
yeah, that was sad.
Probably
What?
didn't want to have to RP that.
I hate you so. Come here. Come here for a minute.
Anyway.
No.
Shit.
Keen, sorry. You seem to be the only kobold in the room. You're not getting quite as many looks as Tallulah is, though, because it seems like people at least know what a kobold is and have maybe seen one before. But the turtle is just something unusual. But you are getting the occasional glance. Um, so let's see. That night is pretty quiet.
Do we need to set up any kind of watch or anything, or is this pretty?
Nah, it's
protected?
pretty secure. There are people outside that already have watches taken up. So it's like this is the good thing about the communal spaces along this particular road. They say at least until if you're entering past midpoint to the south, then you start getting problems on the road more. But they say that for the most part things are pretty safe on this road. But anyway, it's one of those bizarre sleeping arrangements. I mean, some of you probably had experiences like this in college back in Imlarin.
Anybody coming from the south that might be talking about anything?
Ah, very good question. Roll an investigation check.
At least one of us is on track.
Yeah, most people do seem to be fairly quiet though, and a few kind of quiet up when they see the kobold coming nearby. So unfortunately, you particularly don't seem to gather any interesting information for the evening. Does anybody else wish to do anything before the next day?
Not really. Well, not for me anyway.
I mean, does
Besides,
anybody
being kind of annoying to Nori and Jason.
I know no one's really talking, but does anybody seem like suspicious or just like
Roll an actually, in this case, it would be roll a perception check because you're just sitting and scanning. So, what sort of thing do you think is suspicious? So just so I'm aware.
anybody like hiding behind carts or maybe trying to be like super hushed with what they're talking about?
Well, there's several groups that seem to be super hushed, but it's more of a, they are trying to stay in like, in small groups in this large area and just have their private business to themselves.
Could I also use that perception check to see if the fruits on the carts were for sale?
You did notice that the fruits were fairly secured, that these were transportation. You probably overheard some of them talking, like, back in the other room where the carts and everything like that are placed, that these are basically shipments already paid for and spoken for, and like, the occasional dirty look by caravan guards towards anybody that looks like they might be trying to snitch some fruit off of them.
Alright, well, in that case, Tallulah's just going to make sure that Varus has not fallen out of his barrel. And that he can still breathe. And then she's going to go to bed.
He definitely seems to be still breathing. And he hasn't moved out of his barrel.
Watch when we get back. Varus ends up becoming the next famous musician, Beryl Williams.
Oh, God.
I'm proud of that one.
In Keen's timeline is going to blow up once that happens, because they'll realize that, hey, there are early pictures of Varus in this. And Keen is going to get 1 million more followers.
Yay, Keen.
And they will comment and like it on his food pictures.
Too bad he's only got 27% battery, so I assume he gets only like a few more pictures.
Well, it kind of depends, like, on the phone and whether or not it gets damaged, but yeah.
Is it roaming? Is the phone roaming?
I think he would have powered it off, like all the
Yeah.
like put it in battery saver mode and just be using it for pictures and like documentation.
Yeah. There's no there's no electricity in this country, let alone.
And I would assume there's no like cell signal at all. So
Yeah,
he's not.
You're very far away from the nearest tower.
Is there any chance that if Kane happens to get hit with with electric damage, Depend if the damage roll's low enough, a tiny bit of charge could go to the phone. But if it's too much, it like fries it.
That'll be up to Keen if he wants to have to hold it in front of a lightning spell.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
that would kill him. He's very small and very low, very squishy.
Yes. Alright. Yeah, Caleb, that's very loud.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So aggressive. Caleb's typing. He's so aggressive.
Let's see. So, the next morning, you guys wake up, and Varys is still in his barrel.
I'm just gonna go over and poke him. Hey. Hey.
It looks like he's not breathing. Roll an intelligence check.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
shit.
Intelligence. Well,
You quickly realize as you're looking down it, nope, he is breathing. What looks like him not moving is just an illusion. Is this a spell?
bitch, you better wake up.
I thought I would have you maybe teach you a little bit of a lesson, but I guess it didn't work.
You want me to give you the best sleep of your life again?
No,
Maybe
thank
guarantee
you.
you don't wake up this time.
No, thank
Alright.
you. That was quite painful.
Are you
My
telling me a
head
ladies'
still
man
hurts.
like you can't handle a knockout?
I'm not really a ladies' man.
Come on, barrel boy, let's go.
Alright, fine.
So how does he look getting out of this barrel? Like, does he need help? Or does
Well,
he just
let me-
tip the barrel over.
Let me make a dex check to see how well I can get out of the barrel. So that will determine what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Uh,
no.
What's up with me always rolling in this fucking campaign?
You kind of fall out of the barrel and get tangled up in some of the sheets that Tallulah shoved down in there with you.
See? Perfect. I can do it again if you ask me to.
Please do it again.
I believe our
Great
time is
point.
better spent on the road. Let's go.
All right.
Smart, but we like seeing you perform. Not hearing, but seeing is great.
Oh, trust me, there's way more where that came from.
Tell you what, Varys, since you've been such a good sport, why don't you play us a tiny song?
Okay.
Performance.
And Tallulah's just gonna, like, get her hands ready to cover her ears.
I think everybody's getting
Nori's
ready
already
to come
covering
back
his
here.
ears.
Jesus!
Yeah, it's not that good. People
Even
loading
with
up
a
on
+6, you would think with a +6 it would be decent.
people loading up into their carts or just like kind of glaring a bit at the bard and going on their way.
I'm gonna pull the instrument away from him and just push him into the taxi. Get in. You have lost music privileges.
I thought he already lost those at the very
now-
first time he started
now-
playing.
Now he's in negative numbers. Like, there ain't no coming back from none of that.
I pull out my pan flute and play with it.
Exact same.
Stop!
Dude, I hate roll 20.
Yeah, it's roll 20's fault.
Yeah. Now you know how we felt with sidekick, goddammit.
Same as a cute troll.
Oh my god.
Caleb,
What?
3 words. Single digit initiative.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at least you would hit every time you fucking went to hit something.
Not always. You know how many crit fails I got. How many times did you have me fall on
including
my ass and
including
drop my
times you
hammer?
get downed by your own party.
Uh-huh.
All
Right,
right.
Caleb, how the tables have turned.
So, do we take that pamphlet off of him as
Yeah.
well?
I'm
Yep.
taking that pamphlet off him. We said you've lost your music privileges.
And Tallulah looks at him. If you try to touch my shell, I will break your hand.
Actually, good question, Varys.
Sorry, I had myself muted. Yes.
Where did you get your musical training?
Have a cereal box.
Well-
Jason, though he looks confused at Keen's words, not knowing what a cereal box is, still finds it funny and starts laughing.
Well, I
That's my
went to
notepad, Lyra.
school for several years.
Did you pay any attention to what they taught you?
Did you pay them money?
No. Well, you see
So not
here,
paying attention or not paying the money? There were two questions there.
you
Both
see
are
here,
valid.
I sometimes I think of myself as a character in a game who has a bonus to this thing called performance, and then we have to roll these stupid dice, and I always roll fucking low, I guess.
Guess
Wow,
you
we're
need to get
getting
better at rolling
really
dice.
meta here. We're getting really meta here.
Yeah. By the way, if you wish to give name to such a game in Lauren, there would be such a game.
You know that one game, Grizz, what's it called?
Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean, I know in Hello for the Magic Tavern they play offices and bosses. 'Cause
Well,
it's the opposite of Dungeons and Dragons.
yeah, but see, these people have to live in offices and have bosses, so.
See, in My Little Pony they play ogres and oubliettes.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, that was another.
And then one of my favorite series has a game called Caverns and Creatures. Another favorite series group has Spell Scrolls and Stealth, Spell Swords and Stealth, something like that.
There's in mazes.
No.
That one too.
Borderlands 2. Tiny Tina's DLC campaign.
I loved
Bunkers
that one.
and badasses. Fuck yeah. B&B, motherfuckers. Now roll for initiative.
I loved Tiny Tina. She was my favorite.
Oh, she is my favorite. I've got like pop of her. I've got 2 figurines. I've got a fucking wall scroll of her. Yeah. I've even got a card in my wallet of a picture of her. So
That's commitment, dude.
yeah, I fucking love Tiny Tina. Tiny Tina is one of my favorite characters in all of the Borderlands series.
I like it.
Ooh, basements and bugbears. I like that. Kind of mean to bugbears, but I'm imagining there's bugbears who play this in their basement. Maybe that's where it got its name from.
So, what you're saying is you can't play for shit.
Ooh.
Gonna take that.
Oh, I
as a
like
yes.
that. I like that one. That's even that one makes more sense, considering that bugbears are people in that country. Basements and beasts. Got it. It's now canon. Jason is just kind of sitting there staring at the group, not understanding
I'm
what you guys are
trying-
saying.
I'm cuddling up to Jason.
I imagine that the Tabaxi has probably the similar expression, having no clue what the hell they're talking about.
Precisely. That's why I'm putting all my focus on the Jason.
Tallulah,
What?
you can keep the pan flute, but may I have the flute back?
No, you have to earn it back.
Tallulah, will you please hand the flute back?
Why?
It's not important.
Yes, it is. It's important because I don't want my ear holes to bleed.
Tallulah?
Out of character,
And
can I
then-
ask something?
Yes.
Is it common knowledge that people at Emmercorp might have magical abilities, or like?
Yeah, since magic exists and is commonplace, then yes.
Hey, Varus,
What?
you a caster?
I'm a bard.
Give him his flute back. As much as I hate his playing, he needs it.
Don't even think about playing it.
Okay, I won't play it when you need fucking healed because you're on the front lines.
That seems a bit rude, says Jason, mumbling.
I feel like with your playing, it would do more damage than heal me.
Oh, fucking hell.
But here's your tiny wind whistle back.
Don't talk about her like that.
Jason, hearing Ferris's word choice for that, just kind of gives him a funny look, and then looks at the Tabaxi and whispers, "Okay, I guess those foreigners are really into some kinky stuff, huh?"
That explains
Out
why
of
his playing
character.
glows.
Out of character, Kel. This is like if someone had Cass and was like basically like abusing and mocking him. How would Locke feel about that?
Wait, what's up?
This is kind of like this kind of situation is imagine if someone like took Cass away from Kel and like was abusing and mocking him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
AKA if a BBEG, I think it's called. Ended up doing it.
Tallulah's gonna point at the flute. Fuck, how do you pronounce that name? Is it like Escarlet or something like that?
Yeah.
And she's just gonna say, Escarlet?
Don't say her name.
That's who it is, isn't it?
I
I'm
just
just
look
gonna-
at her.
Jason
I'm gonna
just
hand
kind
him
of
his flute
swallows.
and gonna hand him his flute and say, well, she's very beautiful.
Thank you.
He's got this. Jason has this expression on his face that's I don't know where to look sort of expression.
Just look into my eyes. We can get lost into each other's eyes.
What are you looking at, study boy?
He immediately buries his face in a book.
Alright, Tallulah, calm down.
As you guys start off on the road.
No need to be mean to
Pulls out a
the poor
Cabbage
guy.
leaf.
Keen's on top as usual.
So, what you reading?
Well, I'm doing the research on the
Says-
on the south. Wasn't that why you wanted me to come along?
Oh yeah. What have you got written down, or whatever? What does it say?
And she's about to say something as the Keen, roll a perception check.
Oh God.
I gotta see something. Great.
You're on top.
What's up?
You've stated yourself as being on top of the carriage. You see a form in the sky, streaking down towards the carriage. Front claws reaching out. Beak. It seems that you look like food on top of that carriage, and it has caught the attention of something large and flying. But you are alerted by its screeching sound. What would you like to do?
Crawl back in through the window really quick.
All right, you crawl back in, and whatever it is makes it basically makes a flipping motion and sails back upwards.
You basically see Keen crawl back in the window, and then like he's gripping onto the edge, like peering outside, like
Every
something almost tried to eat him.
everything okay, King?
As it's flying back up, you catch sight of a pair of rear hooves as it flies away.
Everything
King,
okay,
what?
King?
What did you piss off?
Big trying to eat me. I was almost a snack. I do not
Mhm.
approve.
You need to be more
You
careful.
are.
You're small. No more riding on top of the carriages.
Grizz, can I look out the window and can I see it?
Roll perception check.
Perception, Yeah, I'm great at that.
All right.
Of course, I
You
roll
defi-
high on that one.
You take sight of this creature flying away. You see the wings. You see the back hooves. You see a tail that seems to be made out of hair, And you do catch a flash of front claws that's flying away, but you can't really make out the details of the rest of it.
And Keen kind of saw a beak and
Yep.
claws, right?
Yep, Keen saw beak and claws.
Would I, in all my travels, have any idea what this is?
Roll either a nature or an arcana check.
Nature or Arcana? Well, +0 to both.
You think about that for a moment and think for 1 second. Griffin? No, that has hooves. Ah! Hippogriff! There we go.
Guys. That is a hippogriff. Yeah, don't fuck with it.
Keen, please stay inside.
Keen grumbles and like finds a spot on one of the benches or seats or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll
there's
see if we can make you like
some decent enough
I don't
seats
know,
there.
a cage to put on top so you can't get eaten.
I mean, I guess if there's a window that he could look out, because he mostly just likes to look like.
Yeah, there are windows on either side.
Or maybe, hey, Kel.
Yeah.
Would you mind going and sitting up top with Keen?
Not at all. Also, out of character, I honestly thought I was on top. Because I said that I like to travel on the top as well.
I must not have heard that. I only heard
You
Keen
did,
traveling on top.
But from this point onward,
You're traveling up there without a seat where there's 8 seats inside. Okay.
Yeah.
If that's what you
I
want
like
to
the
do,
fresh
that's what
air.
you want to
I
do.
like being able to see.
And Keen needs to not be seen as a snack.
I mean, he can't blog about stuff if he can't see stuff. He's like keeping this all in his head, or maybe he has like a paper notebook that he's writing stuff down.
I will allow you to retroactively add a paper notebook to your inventory. It'll probably be a custom item. Because I imagine that, given the Keen's nature, Keen would probably have grabbed one on his way out. And that's not a requisition problem. Alright, so you get to your next stopping spot, which is much like the previous one. Mostly 2 rooms, one that's basically a barn for the animals and the carriages and carts and whatnot, and the other just basically a big barracks type room. You know, people gathered, fire pit, all that sort of goodness.
Before we get out of the taxi, I'm gonna look at Varus and say, do you really need to play music before you go to bed?
It's my way of communing with her.
Then how about you do it out of earshot?
Okay, I will go
We'll
outside.
try really hard to not blow our eardrums out.
And practice.
Okay, I will go outside.
Thank you.
Now he's gonna play like the best music
Yep.
ever because we
Yep.
kicked him out.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna look at Nori and be like, now, do you think when he communes with her, he's yelling at her?
I honestly don't know at this point.
I'm just amused by the fact that the Bard has been rolling this low from the very start of the campaign, and the first time I rolled performance with my cleric on Wednesday, I nat 20'd. Hard argue, not happy today.
Alright, so roll your performance check, please, Varus.
Okay, oh my god. Fuck.
Still not the best, but not as horrible as it has been.
He's getting better.
Keen.
You'd think with a
Huge-
+6 I'd be decent, you know, but nope.
Huge
Roll
training
20 says
montage.
fuck me.
Caleb,
Yeah.
Evanora has a +7 in deception and persuasion, and she still rolls for shit.
Yeah. I get that.
You weren't supposed to agree with me.
Sometimes it's just the dice gods, and the particular character ends up rolling that way.
So while everyone else is inside, do I happen to see anything like outside?
Roll a perception check.
Alright.
Like a hippogriff coming back to eat Keen.
I'm delicious.
Look over, he licks himself.
You must. You mostly see, basically more people just coming in to share the spot. Pretty much the only things that catch your eye are the races that you don't tend to see over in Amlarn. Mainly a satyr and a lupin. Those are not things you tend to see back home.
I'm gonna walk up to the satyr.
Satyr's like standing there puffing on a pipe, kind of like looks up at you.
Hello.
Can I help ya?
I'm not from around here, and I've never seen your kind before. I traveled all over Larn. Have you heard of it?
That country far to the east?
Yes.
For the Queer Mountains? Yeah, I think I heard it.
We don't have your kind here, and I really find you as a beautiful species. Tell me, what are you?
Well, I'm a satyr. My people originally come from the Feywild, but some generations back, there were some settlements over to the west in Ollaras, and we've been in this area ever since.
Now, we were sent down here as agents of the what company do you work for?
Imaru.
For the Imaru company, to help build the railroad in this country. And we saw we were sent down here by the king to investigate some undead. What do you happen to know about that? Do you know anything?
Well, you hear the rumors from down south, people in the farms and all the way down to the Odland Mountains. Sorry, I'm terrible with accents. I'm just trying to figure out a good voice for this character. all the way down to the Odland Mountains and everything. A couple of villages have supposed to have been ransacked.
So you have not personally seen anything? Personally, I think it's a conspiracy theory.
Not seeing any undead, but yeah, we got stopped. Our group kind of got stopped the other day by one of the patrols to figure out if any of us were necromancers. So, if you got any necromancers in your group, you gotta be careful. They arrested all necromancers, put them in jail, said it's for public good to put them all in jail for now.
How do you personally feel about necromancers?
Well, if I've ever met one, I don't know about it.
But if you had met one, how would you feel about it?
And the satyr kind of like puffs on his pipe and just like scratches his bearded chin. I don't know. They mess around with the undead, don't they?
Yes, they're quite dangerous. You would want to stay away.
Yeah, quite unusual, especially with the guards arresting them and all.
Tell me, what is your name? What kind of name do satyr? That's what you said?
Yeah, I'm a satyr. Well, we have different names, but mine's Jim.
Jim. Well, it's nice to meet you, Jim. Tell me, is there anything fun to do around here? We're here for the night. I only need 4 hours of rest.
Afraid not. Might want to head west a bit and go to the town over. There's a town about just over a day's ride from here.
Well, thank you for the suggestion, but I'm with a party, and Dad would get very mad if I left the group.
Meh.
Well, not very mad. You're kind of overselling yourself here. But that's just me talking.
Kind of overselling? He is extremely overselling himself.
Tallulah is going to look outside and be like, "Barrel boy, come on."
Sorry, that is my sister. She's being quite upset with me. Last night, get this. Last night she beat me so hard that I fell asleep and she put me in a barrel.
Sounds like a sisterly thing to do.
Yeah.
Tallulah's gonna come strolling out.
Here she comes.
The
nice talking to you,
satyr's eyes kind of go wide. That's your sister?
Yes, that is my sister.
This one
You
adopted.
see, genetics and stuff work differently over in Ollaran.
Oh my god.
The satyr's face just kind of looks very weirded out.
She makes her way to Varus.
Oh, hi, Tallulah. How's my sister doing?
She's just gonna like look at him and be like, "What the fuck? I ain't your sister."
But she was dropped as a baby many times. That's why they put a shell on
I'm
her.
about to drop you.
It's like a giant sped helmet. Oh my god.
I'm gonna pick Varus up. I'm sorry, he's an idiot.
Okay, bye, Jim.
Bye. I never got your name.
My name is Varus Moonshadow.
Alright, Mr. Moonshadow, Miss Moonshadow. Have a nice night.
I am not related to this imbecile.
But he claimed to be your brother.
I'm just gonna turn around and look at him. Do I look like I'm related to him?
He said things work differently in Imlarn.
Oh my god. She's just gonna like take a deep breath and smile. You're right, and I'm Lauren. It's not beyond us to beat our party members. And she just like turns around and like she has Varus over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Tallulah, I was making friends out there.
She's just gonna walk in and like drop him on the floor. Nori, you can
Yes?
keep an eye on him.
Why is he my responsibility?
I don't know, because maybe you look more like his brother than I do his sister. Why don't you ask him about that?
What?
We could have the cat keep an eye on him.
If that's a good idea.
Oh, that'll just incite bad things. I'd
Trust
rather
me.
the cat not keep.
She looks
What?
at she looks at
What?
Varus. She's like, "Trust me, we were not hatched from the same clutch."
So what's this about? Why would Varus
I
say
don't
that?
fucking know.
She's
It's your
insane.
responsibility.
She was claiming that we were siblings.
I'm gonna walk over and like adjust his head at a good angle, and I'm gonna knock his ass out again.
Make your strength roll. This time not an advantage because you don't have anybody helping you. Still got a 22. Varus, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Hey, how
He's
many of these until I get a concussion?
GM knows. But you are knocked unconscious.
And he's out again.
I'm just gonna roll him under a bed. Can
That
we
works.
leave him here?
Yeah.
It looks
I'm
suspicious if we
almost-
came back without him.
I'm always wanting to agree with that.
What was it? Nori, roll intelligence check. Yeah, you were giving command to the party. You'd have to have a really good time explaining that to Alec why Varus didn't
Yeah,
return.
I'm well aware. It's just really tempting to just leave him. But we
Let's-
shouldn't.
Let's see if he
much
can prove
as-
himself useful first.
So far he's done poorly on that part.
Do I even look like I could be related to him?
No.
Thank
No.
you. Much more sophisticated than he is, and she just like adjusts her shell, like pulls her shell.
Indeed.
Thank you.
So I guess while they're beating up on Varus, Keena's gonna wander around eating a sausage and just kind of see if he can eavesdrop on any conversations.
Roll me an investigation check.
At least one of us is being productive.
We're good at it though.
One of us is trying to be productive.
You do sort of spot a human family, parents, a couple of scared-looking kids, like, you know, somebody mumbling, it'll be, in that group mumbling, it'll be okay, it'll be okay, it'll be okay, we're safe, it'll be okay.
Keen's gonna clue Nori into that because he's not comfortable approaching humans as a kobold.
What is it, Keen?
Some folks that might be survivors. Sounds like they. You might want to see if they have anything. Have any info?
Alright, you come with.
Sort of trail along behind him. He points out the family that he heard.
Yeah, the family still looks shell shocked and upset.
Is Tallulah around?
I don't know. Are you? Roll perception check.
Well, no, you said shell shocked.
As in traumatized.
Are you telling me you're a storm herald?
Knock, knock, you're about to get shell shocked.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be the next song that I play with my barbarian.
Oh god.
Again, birth of death metal.
Hells yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
Nori-
wait till the last area you guys have to get through on Sunday game.
Yeah, I
Oh,
knew we
no.
weren't finished.
Well, there is always the way of getting through without having to fight. But if you have to fight, there's a good chance of death. I keep looking at the stats on Kobold's thing, and it keeps telling me deadly, and I'm like, but you guys have fought worse before in a group.
Remember, some of us are not the same. We're not all the same level.
Yeah, I know. It's taking that into account.
It is deadly for a lot of my character. For my character.
Yeah, Viren might become a zombie first before anything else.
He'll become one of his own.
Anyway, back to the game. Nori will approach the family.
Alright, the humans kind of like look up at you.
Is everything alright over here? Did you just come
And
from the south?
the mother kind of looks up at you and nods. Yeah, our home, a couple days south, days travel south. It came under attack. Our farm, everything's gone.
Do you have any idea who did it? Who...
It was the skeletons. One of the kids says, "It was those skeletons. They came right into the farms and just started attacking people and burning things."
Well, I'm part of a group that's under orders from the king to help deal with the necromancy problem down south. So if you happen to have any information that could aid me in my task to possibly save other families from the tragedies have faced.
Like what?
Which
Mother
way
just kind of
the...
pulls her kids closer and tucks her husband up against her.
which way the skeletons came from? If you saw anyone else with the skeletons?
And the little girl pipes up and says, "I think the skeletons came from the woods."
The woods. Thank you, little one.
And she nods a bit.
Keen's gonna tug on Nori's pant leg and ask him if he has the map with him to see if they can show us, if they can know on the map whereabouts
right,
they were from.
I did get a map. And I'll unravel it.
Alright. So, you guys are here. The family kind of points down towards a farm that was about right here. Somewhere near midpoint.
see, can I freehand him? So like right here, it's not letting me draw. Oh, it is letting me draw. My drawing is just really, really light colored.
Yeah, it's gray. Let me change it to a different color palette. Let's make it pop. That's not one of my colors.
Yeah, I think I drew like 3 lines there because I couldn't see it.
And I'm only asking because it's on my mind. Where are we currently? We're heading towards midpoint.
Yeah, we're,
Yeah.
we're right
I'm just
up
gonna
here.
delete that other one. 'Cause
There you go.
that's about where you were pinging, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you're that cart that's right there.
Thank you for letting me, telling me this. I hope that me and my group will be able to deal with the necromancy problem soon.
The family kind of nods a bit.
Here, have a gold.
Their eyes just kind of brighten, and the human man, the father, just kind of grabs your hand and says, "Thank you, sir. Thank you,
May the gods be with you.
and with you."
And I'll rejoin the group.
Welcome back.
And I guess we can fill them in on what we learned if.
Yeah.
if
Like when I rejoined the group, I'm like, all right, I've got some form of location. I pull out the map to show them. Over around here. Apparently, skeletons were coming from the woods near this farm that's located at this point.
Well, at least we kind of know where to go to investigate.
we should ask him how many days ago it was.
Well,
It's not a big deal. I'm sure there's more info in midpoint too.
yeah, there's bound to be a plethora of information that we can get from Midpoint.
Did they come here on foot?
I don't know, did they?
You
Chris?
you didn't ask, but they did say that it seemed to be a couple days ago, and on foot it would probably take a day to move one of those squares. So it'd probably take several days just to get to midpoint on foot.
And they're like halfway to the big city almost. So they've been. Had to been like what, a week at least, maybe a little longer.
They'll probably
In-game
had
week or out of week? Because their week is 10 days.
Yeah, 8 days if they went on diagonal. I guess depends on how they went. Like if they went straight to, or if they cut over to the road. It depends on how the roads
they'll
run.
most likely have been on cart.
Yeah, basically the roads you see on the map are is the main road, and the major roads. Basically the major paved roads. There are like other smaller roads to various
Dirt roads.
locations. But yeah, it's one of those things when you're putting together a map for people, you don't want to put in all of the, every single area that would exist in a country.
I always assume there's like dirt roads and like
Yeah.
horse paths and stuff.
Yeah,
where
there's like other
if
villages,
there's
other
a settlement
farms,
of any kind.
other small towns, but these are basically the major points on any road. But there'd be like collateral villages and whatnot. Oh, right, that's what I originally used as a transport thing. Duh. Alright, anything else you guys wish to get done for the evening?
Not at the top of my head.
Nah, Nori's done.
Alright, marked off another day. Morning comes, everything is well. The smell of people cooking over a fire reaches your nostrils. What do you guys wish to do?
Treat Jason to a meal.
Jason will happily accept whatever rations or meal that you can provide for him.
Something from the tavern, I guess.
Well, it's not really a tavern. It's just a safe place to sleep.
Oh, I thought somebody was
So you have to
cooking.
cook.
It's a bring your own. It's sort
Yeah.
of like just a campsite, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, I'll cook up some rations.
All right. So you guys have a nice little breakfast.
Did anybody check and see if Varus is alive?
I'm sure he's fine.
I'll wake
Yes.
up.
I'm right here. My head kind of hurts, though.
It's fine.
You should be
Ian's kind of
fine.
hurt.
But in all seriousness, we should probably not do that too much anymore.
Tell that to name. We got it.
I mean, it's always better to have an extra target in a fight, right?
I mean, that is true, I guess.
Tallulah comes wandering over to the taxi. Oh, I see you're awake. Looking at Varus.
I'm not responding.
She walks by and just pats him on the back. Gets in the taxi.
You guys all set up then?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And then tonight I'll try again.
All right. So on this day, as you're passing by a few caravans heading north, a guard patrol reaches your particular taxi, and the guards, all minotaurs, hold up their credentials to the driver and looks up at who was it? Kel, who's up on top.
Keen and Keller, I think, are both sitting up there. But Keen might not be as obvious because he's tiny.
So Keen is got somebody to watch his back up there. That's good. That means there's plenty of room inside the cabin, the carriage, and says, "This is a routine check. We are here to check for necromancers."
Not a problem with me. It's what we're hunting down.
Keen is going to ask, how do you know if they're a necromancer?
the Minotaur kind of tilts its head and studies Keen carefully. "We're looking for spell books and the like. So, present your luggage."
Kel will thump on the roof of the carriage. Guys, come on. And he'll hop down and open up his luggage.
Is everyone?
Keen will pan them over his little tiny rucksack that he's got all his junk in.
Does Varus seem distressed or concerned?
He's going to, ask up and he says, why do we need to give you our luggage?
the Minotaur, who is looking into the cab at the rest of your party, who for a moment kind of looks back at Varus and kind of studies him with a look. This is mandated by the king that we check everybody and imprison any necromancers that we find.
We were also sent out by the king to kill those necromancers, so there's no need to look at our stuff, right?
Roll a persuasion check.
I mean, we don't have anything that says we're on King's business, do we?
Speak for yourself.
I mean, I have a sending stone from the king.
Do you wish
That would-
to use it to assist in this particular venture, to get them to not investigate you guys?
I mean, we are on a time crunch, so yeah. I'll just say we have a sending stone that goes to, I believe, the
Chancellor or the
chancellor? Yeah.
So, Nori, please roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, okay.
I'm not very persuasive.
Neither am I.
Ha! Says one of the guards. But you'd like to prove it. I think there's a necromancer in this cabin. Somebody's acting very shifty.
Nice.
Tallulah's gonna look at the Minotaur and be like, "Look, we're on a time crunch. If you do you want these necromancers dead?"
How
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 about
about we just let them go about their business? They'll do it quick, and then we'll be able to go and do our job.
Well, they better bloody do it quick.
Maybe we shouldn't be aggressive to the king's men.
Tallulah, roll a persuasion check.
We are the king's men.
And all the king's horses couldn't put them back together again.
Oh fuck. All right, well, we all tried. We ain't going. They're checking the luggage. Tallulah's just gonna get up and get her luggage, like not even wait for a response.
Okay, I have something to admit.
All of the guards look away from the inside of the cabin, where they seem to be focused, and towards you now.
This flute right here, it possesses the soul of my dead wife.
Interesting.
Are you a necromancer?
Not particularly. I'm a bard.
Here's hoping they know what a bard is.
I'm gonna lean over to Nori and be like, "See, told you they were arguing when he plays that thing."
One of the Minotaurs looks like he's about to say something. Do you wish to play your instrument?
Uh,
Oh no.
yes, I would like to play my instrument for you. I thought no one would ever ask.
Oh,
I
fuck.
was asking out of character. Oh my god! So, the Minotaurs, who seem to be very focused on something going on inside your carriage, suddenly all turn and look at Varus with wide eyes, as his performance, which before had been horrific and horrible, is now the most beautiful and enchanting music any of you have ever heard.
I'm just gonna like look at my party members like, what the fuck?
I guess you can get lucky once or twice.
He kind of
when
sees it as he can act under pressure.
Yeah.
Just needs a little fire under his ass.
Are you sure he didn't bring a recording of someone
He
else
might
playing a
have.
flute, did he?
It's possible.
No, I don't have recordings. That was just me playing my instrument.
Smell that? Bullshit.
Maybe he had to save up all of his talent for one. I don't know.
So he's gonna be terrible for the rest.
The Minotaurs start whispering to each other.
That'd be my assumption.
Alright. But if we find out you were lying to us. Minotaur just kind of snorts and just waves you on.
I'm gonna yell out the window. You'll be the first ones I raise.
Fucking hell.
And then you just see
Oh,
Varus get pulled back into the carriage.
Fucking hell.
Why?
Does the word does the word tactful mean anything to you?
Or
What
that
does that
saying
mean?
where you mess with the bull and you get the horns?
A little too literal there, Keen. But I see what you mean.
No, I think it was just literal enough.
Anyway, Varus, thank you. Good job.
Except
Thank
for that
you.
last part.
You kind of fucked it up with that last part, but you know.
I mean, I thought that. I mean, trust me. I know military men. I used to perform for them all the time. They like to have a little joke here and there, you know.
So
No,
why'd
we
your
don't.
wife in the
That
flute?
didn't sound like a joke.
So why'd your wife in the flute?
What?
Wife, flute, soul, why?
I couldn't let go.
So you argue with her nightly?
No, we don't argue.
Well then, I don't know what you're doing, but I think you're hitting all the wrong notes.
Sometimes her and I have little disagreements, and so she decides not to perform right.
I don't think she's the one that has issues performing.
I mean, look at that there. She did not want me to die, and so she allowed me to perform well.
Okay, so she wants you to die when you play for us. Got it.
Maybe she's just shy.
If she were shy, she wouldn't make any noise at all.
Oh, sometimes that happens too.
Jason just kind of leans over towards Varys and whispers, "Really? Your wife's soul is actually in that flute?" He's got this kind of amazed look on his face.
Not the
Have
weirdest
you-
thing I've seen.
Why
Ha-
a flute?
Because it's how we fell in love.
Being a bit of a
Yeah,
blowhard.
horrible. Oh, that's.
Tulua's eyes just go wide. Never mind. Never mind. I look over and lean over to to Fangtail. So they fell in love by him putting her in his mouth?
Oh my god! Yes, exactly. That's the way love happens, and sometimes babies are born that way.
Humans are weird.
Varus, do you have kids?
No.
Clearly it didn't work out for him.
She died before we were able to have kids.
How long are you guys married?
Oh, we were married for about 60 years, but apparently humans only live to be about 80.
So she was human.
Yes.
Yeah, humans.
And you
Humans are
didn't
pretty-
know how long humans
Humans
They're
live?
not very well
Really?
long-lived.
She was so beautiful. I thought she was an elf.
You did the ears didn't.
Wow, okay.
Really, you did a pickup line on a dead woman?
Oh no.
Oh, she's not. I mean, she is dead, but she can hear me right now. And he kind of coddles the flute next to his face. Oh, can't you, honey? Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh
Okay,
god,
that's creepy.
yeah,
Okay,
that's
for the time
out of
being,
character. Strange addictions, much.
for the time being, Varus, please keep your wife out of your mouth.
Oh,
Or anything else out. Just sit there and do nothing.
So as the day wears on, you eventually come to an area that has these ruins of rather tall walls to either stretching east and west with a lot of crumbling bits right where the road is. It looks like someone at some point had built a wall in this area and it's, was destroyed
No
and
longer
broken
there?
apart. But, the stones are still around and parts of the wall still exist because nobody's bothered to retouch it. But it apparently was not enough to keep the Minotaurs from advancing south.
Jason,
Jason kind of looks up from a book that he's looking through. Yeah?
do you know what happened here?
Oh, well, that was about 1,000 years ago. Uh, the uh, the old kingdom and the Minotaurs, they took over this region. They kind of broke down the wall and built the road in through here and took Midpoint. Well, it wasn't called Midpoint. I'm not even sure what it was called back then, but it was like the northernmost city of this country, of this southern country back then, I guess.
Where did it get the name Midpoint if it's in the northernmost part of the country?
Because it became the town of Midpoint once Hellspring took over, because it was midpoint between here and the Odling Mountains. That's what I think, anyway. I don't know for certain.
That would make sense. Thank you.
Varus, there's something that's been nagging me.
Yes.
I have a question, and it's a serious question.
Yes.
If your wife is in that flute,
Mm-hmm.
is your mistress in this flute?
No, that's just the one I play when she's pissed off.
So why don't you play that one more? Because she seems pissed off all the time.
It's... She didn't want me to take this job, so she's pissed that I'm coming over here.
Huh? Makes two of us. So,
You?
how did
You're
she
weird.
get in the flute? Oh, I'm weird. I'm weird. I'm weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I'm a turtle. You have your
Mm-hmm.
dead wife in a flute.
But
She has it.
you're a turtle.
She has a point.
That obviously you're not very good at playing.
Okay, you can
Your wife has to
Believe-
do all of the work.
believe what you want.
And I'm weird. Pulls out a piece of her cabbage.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
But then again, he does have a somewhat point. These are both weird.
I'm gonna look at Nori.
Let's all agree on that, shall we? We're all weird.
Also not wrong.
Especially to us two.
And how do you think you look to us?
Like a cat, I think you guys call him.
Exactly. So don't you think the little putty cat should be taking a nap?
Yeah, you're right. I should be taking a nap. Lays on top of Jason's
Jason.
leg.
Jason
Mhm.
was laughing until that happened. It's like, ah! I guess this weird look on his face.
Just wait till she starts
Starts
purring.
purring. Yep. Starts purring.
I'm trying to read here.
Just lean into it. Exactly, see?
So, eventually, you make it to what's most likely a small city, possibly a large town. I mean, if this was in Imlarn, this would definitely be considered a town, but here in Hellspring, it's probably considered a small city. It's got a wall, kind of a wall surrounding it as well. A nice stone wall that seems to have a fairly good upkeep. And as you enter in through the gates, you notice a lot of wooden buildings around the outside of the outer section of the city, and the very center of it all seems to be made out of stone, like these big stone buildings. Excuse me. The cab continues on until you get to what appears to be a tavern, and the name on the door is the Mysterious Jester. The
The Jester.
the cab driver gets down and says, "Well, this is it for me here. You guys have a good time. I'm gonna be picking up fares and heading back north."
Thanks for the trip.
Yeah, thank you for the trip, good sir.
It was quite amusing.
Don't know if that's the word I'd use, but
I don't like where this is going.
you think the tavern here has pies?
Probably.
Tallulah goes to the tavern. See if they have pie.
I will drag Jason along with me.
I'll follow
Jason's like,
behind
"Well,
Tallulah.
This was supposed to be my. I guess I'm not going to be free of you guys anytime soon, now am I? He mutters.
Nope, looks like you're the pet of the group.
I suppose so.
Fangtail, you clean up after him.
It's out a long sigh.
You mean the pet of the group?
I am.
Yes.
I am house trained. Thank you very much. I don't know about this one. He gestures towards Fangtail.
You
So
have to
he's
feed
just admitted to being a pet. Okay, that's great.
you have to feed and water him.
I could definitely help him shower.
And make sure he's
What's a
entertained.
shower? That's something you haven't him learn?
Fuck.
It's
I
a
could
way of
definitely-
bathing.
Fuck.
Instead of sitting in a pool of water.
I thought D&D normally would have showers.
Well, they probably have like a bucket,
baths. Yeah,
like a
or
bucket you wash yourself in.
yeah. A bucket sounds good too.
I could help you get to those hard-to-reach places.
I'm gonna go vomit now.
Didn't like water.
No, some of them like to fish. This one apparently isn't very good at getting a catch.
Meow.
Mm-mm.
Meow. Meow meow meow.
Are you mocking me?
Sorry. Couldn't resist.
It's all good.
Don't
dear
get catty.
Lord. Oh, no, don't start.
What?
I would claw you if I did have -3 strength or whatever it is.
Someone might say you're feline frisky.
So, what time of day is it here?
It's now evening.
So, I guess for if we wanted to see if there's any town like leadership, we should just wait until morning.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Mhm.
If a bunch of tabaxi started a band, would they be
Oh
called the
my
Meow
God.
Mix?
Oh,
meow,
please
meow, meow.
stop.
And if you were a tabaxi, you'd probably be the runt of the litter.
I'm 6'2", buddy.
Small. Yeah.
Small. Yeah.
Ooh, we got a map.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a battle time.
So, you've made it to the Mysterious Jester. This place is both tavern, inn, and stables. So, there's a big stable area right out in front. Inside, the area is a bit modest. There is a band playing off in one corner. And there's a bartender, a human woman, kind of pouring some drinks as the various townsfolk filter in. For the most part, the townsfolk appear to be made up of humans, halflings, and minotaur. And I seem to be echoing on somebody's thing.
Jesse's.
Yeah.
No! Don't say that! God damn it, why? 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 Why am I working? Fucking. That should be better.
Testing. Nope.
No. That should be better.
Testing. There we go. Oh, nope.
Okay.
And hearing it again.
It sounds so low now. But I'm pretty sure that if I ended up talking at a normal pace and kind of a little bit quiet, I'd be cutting it out.
Okay.
Is that any better?
Seems so far. Nope.
Okay, cool. Oh,
So, what would you guys like to do?
okay.
Tallulah's gonna make her way over to the bartender.
And Nori's gonna follow right behind.
Same with Keen.
Yep, Varus as well.
Same with Tabaxi woman.
The various clientele in the room kind of like turn and start, watching you guys come in, blinking a bit. You
Yeah, I
already
would
see
love
the
to
whispers.
It's like a
Bartender.
weird joke.
Ah, yes. What can I do for you?
So I have a proposition for you.
Yeah.
You are experiencing, or at least maybe not you, but down here in this region, you guys are experiencing undead, am I right?
That would be the case, yes. There have been rumors. I haven't seen any myself.
Well, what do you say? We are going to take care of the undead. That way they can never disrupt you guys again or hurt you guys again.
She kind of like looks over the group that's come in. Well, good luck with that.
Well, since we are going to do that, do you think that maybe we could get, on the house drinks tonight?
Roll a persuasion check.
Rolling low on performance and persuasion? What kind of bard?
She kind of smirks at you.
The worst ever.
That's sweet, honey.
Ma'am, do you have any pie?
Oh, sure. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like you.
Yeah, I'm a giant turtle. Do you have any pie?
She's my sister.
Oh my
The
god, please
bartender
don't
keeps
start this
looking back
again.
and forth. Yes, I do have some pie.
What do you got?
Well, I have an apple pie. There's some pretty good apples down here.
How many
Slices or pies?
pies?
Well, I currently have.
By the way,
I currently have
Tallulah,
two whole pies left.
if you're going to buy those pies, you're gonna have to pay it out of your own pocket.
I'll have 2 slices, please.
All right.
How much would it be for both pies?
Well, let's see. A pie is. Let's see. If general pie is 8 slices, so. I'm doing a quick figure in my head. Give me a sec. Well, each pie would be about two gold.
Okay, here's 4 gold. Give both pies to the turtle.
She nods and pulls off 2 still nice and warm with some steam coming up pies from the kitchen and gently lays them in front of Tallulah.
Tallulah's eyes sparkle and she looks at Varus. Thank you. She takes a bite of pie. It was very nice. I'm sorry I knocked you out twice in a row. It only should have been once.
It's okay. I probably deserved it, and I need to work on being a better person.
You're not wrong. Do you want a piece of pie?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You should also stop calling Tallulah your sister.
But she's my... family is not by blood. Family is by choice, and I choose
Dude,
to
I
have
don't even
Tallulah
fucking
as
know
my
you.
sister. But I feel like there might be, like, we might have alter egos, you know? Like, what if in another world I'm a god and you're a cat, and then in another world I'm a god and you're like a hag?
Oh
You
my
know?
god.
All right, fine. All right, fine.
You literally just called her a hag in a way.
No, no, this is
it's a
extremely
story.
meta thing you don't know about.
She's playing a hag variant in another game.
Where
Oh.
Caleb is the DM.
Yes. And I am playing a Dragonborn.
Okay, all right, fine. We'll work together. But please refrain from calling me your sister.
Cousin?
Uh,
That works.
So the
Bangtail will kind of. Oh,
the bartender looks first over at Keen, because Keen's also sat down at the thing. And what can I get for you? You're kobold, aren't you? I don't think I've seen one around here before.
Keen just blinks, like as if not seeing kobolds around is odd to him.
Well, what can I get for you?
Whatever's good, I guess. Your beer and food.
Oh, sure. That'll be 3 silver. And she pours
he's
you
not
a thing of ale and sets it down in front of you. It's actually, it looks like it's a halfling size, which is perfectly sized for a kobold. And she goes back and gets a halfling type bowl, and brings back a nice heaping bowl of stew, heaping halfling bowl of stew. So it's like the smaller but perfectly sized for a kobold sort of thing, along with a piece of nice crusty bread, and sets that down in front of you.
What kind of stew is that?
Well, it's a nice boar and carrot and potato stew.
Can I have a bowl?
All right. 3 silver, please. And she brings you a nice bowl of stew. This one's a bit bigger. It's actually quite large. It looks like it's meant for someone of a minotaur size, which you tend to fit into. And she sets that and a large piece of bread down in front next to you.
And Tallulah just starts like going to town on the stew. She's like slurping and being very unladylike. And you see, like, when she runs out of vegetables in her stew, she pulls like a vegetable out of her shell and like dips it in the broth.
The bartender's just kind of staring at you for that. So,
This is really good.
well, thank you. Will you folks be needing rooms for the night?
Yes.
Needing beds? It's 5 silver per bed.
I'll pay for all of us.
All right. Jason looks up from a table,
Except for Jason.
and then he sighs.
Well,
Ah!
what if, what
You're
if,
making
what
me
if-
come along and then telling me I have to pay for my own room.
well,
How?
what if
You
Jason
can just
and
sleep with the
Grandtail
cat.
share a
I mean-
bed?
You can. I'm sure Fangtail would love to share a bed with you.
He sighs.
See? And Keen can sleep in my bed. See, we just bunk up and we save money.
Exactly.
Am I the only one that brought a sleeping bag?
I'm gonna look at Keen like, I'm sorry.
So how much would that be?
Well, how many beds do you need?
Ma'am, I think you're going to need all of them because I'm about to bring a crowd in here.
Oh God.
Oh no.
She looks over at Varys.
Pay for the beds now before we get kicked out.
There's currently still a full band playing in the back.
You see, these guys.
God.
Keen
These
is gonna
guys
start
are-
shoveling food a little faster in case they get kicked out.
2, 3,
You see,
4, 5.
These guys here are amateurs.
I'd
have
like
been
to pay
playing
for
music.
6 rooms. 6 beds, please.
Quickly,
All right.
quickly.
That'll be 3 gold, please.
Yep, here you go. Here you go. Nori is
Apologies for him.
quite roughly doing this.
And she kind of directs you to the room in back, the one that actually has its own little front thing.
And I apologize for him. He's taken a few too many blows to the head, if you know what I mean.
And you just see, like, Tallulah picks up her bowl and, like, rushes into the room and shuts the door.
Yeah, Nori's like, I do apologize for Varys, but I'm gonna. It's been a long day. And I rush off.
So who's playing? Who's the bard again? Keen, isn't it?
Currently, the
Varys.
currently the bards down at the end of the room are playing decently, and they have a group of people sitting in front of them, listening and drinking.
Keena's gonna
Think,
hang out just to watch the train wreck. And he figures he can sneak away if he has to.
He is he's a little kobold. He can sneak.
It'd be kind of hard for a 450-pound turtle to sneak away.
Hey, bartender, it's so rude for me to call you bartender. What is your name?
Oh, I'm. Sorry, I always have trouble pronouncing this name. I don't know why I wrote this. Defarid. My name is Defarid.
Tafard. It's nice to meet you. I'm a lifelong bard. I've been playing music my entire life. And I would like to know if, in between songs or something like that, if I may perform for your bar for you.
Well, it's probably a good idea if you get their permission. She gestures at the band already playing.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up to the band. And, like, just as I'm walking up, I'm just gonna be, like, clapping, like, hey. I'm gonna wait for the song to end. And then when it ends...
and the group kind of looks up at you.
Hello. What, do you guys have a name for yourselves?
Yeah, we're three halflings and a human.
3 halflings and a human. That's good. Now, I've been playing music my entire life. Do you mind if I play a song, give you guys a little break so you can drink some water, some ale or something?
They start whispering toward each other, and one of the halflings just nods. All right, go for it. Let's see what you get.
All right, thank you.
The human eyes you.
I get on the stage, and I say to everyone, "Hello, everyone." How many people are in the bar?
There's a handful, like maybe well, actually more than a handful. It's probably like about a dozen at this point. I just don't have, I don't need all those tokens to represent. It'll get, the map gets crowded when you do that.
Well, my name is Varys Moonshadow, and I am from the country of Ollaras. We are here to help you guys with something, and so I have prepared a song exactly for this situation. It's called Skeletons Will Fly.
Out of character. Is anybody else concerned?
Okay, do you have the actual song? You can just talk it if you need to.
All right. Skeletons will fly so high, we will destroy them all with a giant ball.
I have you know my dog just whined.
Their heads may be small, but we will defeat them all. And we will kill the necromancer, even if he's a very good dancer. Thank you very much.
Tallulah,
there's a lot of
out
clapping,
of the room.
And you get 26 gold for your trouble.
Whoo!
Nice.
Tallulah walks out of the room, and she's like, "Okay, he's doing well, but these lyrics,
even
I'm
the
just
bar,
gonna..."
even the bards are clapping.
Thank you all. It was a pleasure performing for you all, but we are on a time crunch here. I must go into my trance for the night. Have a good evening.
Wait, says one of the bards. I got a story for you, and roll a 1d4.
Okay, I can do that. All right.
All right. You are whispered a new story that you can put into song. There's Moonshadow. There we go. It is now under your handouts.
That is very much appreciated. I will be sure to tell the tales of your people.
It's more of that one's more of a global thing, from what I understand. I think it's known all throughout the world in places.
Ah, it's the first time I've heard of it, and I appreciate it much. I love telling stories.
They nod and they go back to their playing.
And I walk to my room, kind of just like shoulders cocked back and my head up high as I'm walking past my party members, giving them the stank eye.
Very nice, Varus.
I didn't hear him, so
Yeah, I went to my room very, very quickly.
That whole looking smug is kind of wasted.
I'm gonna before Keen can okay, well, since everybody's not really around, he's just gonna tug on Keen and be like, "So, what do you think of Jason?"
Keen just shrugs. He's like, don't really know him. Although I think the internet would make his brain explode.
Well, I've got something interesting. Kind of like lowers her voice a little bit. So, I'm a little bit worried. A little bit worried. You guys can hear me, right? Still.
Yeah, currently only Keen can hear you. Can hear you talking. I'll bring you guys into whisper, since
Okay.
since technically of the party only Keen can hear you. And let's see, actually second roll 20 party. There we go.
So you're worried about him, like
a little.
Like how so?
You remember when we had that pit stop with the Minotaurs looking for our stuff, sort of thing?
Keen nods.
He looks like that he was trying to cast a spell and book or something, like trying to hide it.
So he was trying to hide his book?
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or a thing to look out for, but yeah, it was kind of weird.
I mean, I could try to get a look at it, but depends on what language it's in.
Would I have noticed what the language was?
No, only that it looked like it was some sort of sparkly book, sparkly magic-y type book, and not the one he was reading, this entire time, like the one he's currently reading back in the room.
But yeah, he was trying to make the book disappear. That's all I know.
Do you think we ought to liberate it from him to check it out?
I don't know. I don't know what to do with this.
Do you think we ought to tell the others?
Possibly, but I don't know how we're gonna do that if Jason's around. It could be a little bit awkward. Or we could be like set up an intervention or something. Maybe.
Oh, I can see if I can get a hold of Nori by himself and let him know.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm just gonna, stick to being all seducey and comes.
Keep him occupied.
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the talk. Bartender, 2 rounds of ale, please.
Great.
Oh, they're back.
This ale is delicious.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no.
1 silver, please. Yeah, she says, and yeah.
Yeah, I pay it.
So, what are the rest of you guys doing?
We're just kind of shooting the shit over here.
And Jason's trying to quietly study.
Are any of these beds in here big enough for Tallulah, or is she
Yeah.
gonna have to like sleep on the table?
Yeah, remember Minotaur area. So Minotaur beds would be your size. So there's basically, they seem to go with the 2-2-2 method. 2 beds are Minotaur size, 2 beds are like halfling size, which would fit a kobold, and 2 beds are human sized.
Thinking Keen might pull out his notebook and start scribbling something. Since he has it.
But there's also like little bits of furniture that can extend a halfling sized bed into something a bit bigger so that a human sized person could sleep on it.
Oh no. Oh god. As soon as Fangtail walks in, Tallulah's gonna be like, we're all sharing this room tonight, right?
Don't worry, I'm not going to try anything tonight.
Tonight would be the night to drag him off into a horse stall and
Kane!
I'm
would
gonna roll
expect something like that
persuasion.
from Fangtail, but never
I-
you.
Get some
I'm
some hay where hay shouldn't be.
Yeah, I'm gonna persuade Jason to see if he
Jason is just looking up at this point, looking perplexed.
Not my problem.
can I try and persuade?
You can
Damn
try.
routine.
What are you gonna say to him?
Yeah, let's
roll to seduce the scholar.
Oh lord.
fuck.
What are you gonna say to him to make the attempt?
Oh god.
Hey, you wanna take up to Lily's advice?
Jason shakes his head and points at the book. I'm trying to get some more research done. Besides, I don't even know. You guys said you want me to stick around for a while, and I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. What is tomorrow gonna bring? What's the plan here?
I imagine that we go for the undead and make all their skulls fall off with giant balls.
Yeah, but do we even have a
They're very
game?
small skulls.
And find a really bad dancing necromancer?
Yes.
What?
Was that foreboding?
Does he have a crypt? Do you have to dance? Attack along
I love
with the
that
music?
game. Crypt of the Next.
Fang, leave Jason alone for the night. Just go to bed.
Okay.
Why don't you crawl in bed with Nori?
But I mean, where are we going?
Why would you say that?
Yeah, I'll just keep Jason warm. He should be fine.
I mean,
I'm just gonna.
What was
Just gonna
Jason
lay
saying, by
next
the way,
to him.
Chris?
don't know what we're looking for. We don't know. You just talk about killing undead. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of soldiers out there doing that.
We gotta start somewhere, Jason.
They're the root of the problem.
Hey, Fangtail.
God damn it. Okay, yeah.
How do you feel about boxes? Because I have a flurkin that's much like you, and it enjoys boxes.
Fuck you, Caleb.
What are you talking about? Boxes.
Well, my flurkin at
What's
home.
a flurkin? So Jason says, looking at Varys perplexedly.
Have you ever seen the movie Captain Marvel?
What the?
Yep.
What is a
Captain
movie?
Marvel?
Jason's just staring at you.
Technology from where we live. You'd love to see it. Just continue.
He's
So,
just
my
still looking
flurkin-
strange.
My flurkin at home enjoys to sleep in boxes. They find it very comfortable. So maybe if we don't have enough beds, you can just sleep in a box and you might be very comfortable.
I mean, the other night I ended up sleeping underneath the bed because the beds were uncomfortable, so I'll try anything.
All right, sounds perfect. Grizz,
they
are there
even
any
have
boxes in here?
God.
Varys, what's your pet's name?
There is a cedar chest.
My
there.
flurkin's name is Duck.
Duck.
Who's feeding your cat while you're out here in another country?
It's at the kennel with my aunt.
Your aunt's at a kennel?
You put your aunt in a kennel.
No, like
Is it a woman
What
or a
is
bug?
going on?
my aunt works at a kennel, and she takes care of him during the day and takes him home at night.
So your pet's name is Duck.
Yes.
Caleb, I'm disappointed. I thought you were gonna go something off of the cloud theme, but
Maybe it's duck sauce.
That's something Cloud would do.
what? Name it Duck?
No, name one duck sauce.
No,
name
she'd
it
name
after
one.
food.
She'd name it Falafel.
Yeah, that would be if Cloud had a pet, though. Except for
Yeah.
Nymphis. You
I
didn't
feel
name
like you'd be
Nymphis Falafel.
uncomfortable having a pet that was the same-ish species as her.
Human beings have monkeys and various apes as pets. Why would this be any different?
The fact that they
Someone
have
could
the same
understand
shape.
her.
Some of those monkeys and chimps can do sign language. And
Jason.
parrots, humans can understand what parrots are talking about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Jason, do you happen to know? I've always been fascinated by little primates. Are there any native to here that I can take home?
Oh my
Jason's
god.
just kind of staring at you wide-eyed.
We are not
Jason.
taking
Not
home
that I can
indigenous
think of.
creatures.
Don't answer that question, Jason.
We're not taking anything
unless
home
you're-
that
unless
we
you're
didn't
talking-
come here with.
Unless you're talking about goblins, they're
Oh,
they're
God.
known to
No,
to frequent
Jason,
the woods.
I said not to answer him.
Wait, goblins?
Bangtail, Jason wants
There,
to go
there
to the
are.
stables with you.
To be fair, there are goblins in Umlaran.
Like, I mean, are they civilized people here? They're civilized back at home.
Well, they. I
Jason,
haven't
please
seen any that
stop
are civilized. They're usually in little bands attempting to steal from
Jason.
people.
I mean, the
So who's gonna-
quartermaster is a goblin at our job.
Tallulah gonna walk
He
over
handles
and
all the
just, like,
weapons.
clamp Jason's mouth shut.
Jason goes.
Jason, when I say to stop talking, you
Stop
should stop
talking.
talking.
Jason kind of narrows his eyes at Nori, and mumbles something about.
I'm gonna take my hand off of your mouth. Are you going to stop talking about things that Varys might want to take home with us?
It's not like you can bring that home,
Why not?
because they're people, aren't they?
Oh God. Okay.
I mean-
All right, Jason. You're
That's
gonna
like
sleep in
that's
the
like
other
saying
room.
you want to bring home an owl bear.
I would
I'll be
rather
right
have an
Owlbears
owlbear.
are people?
Wait,
What?
No,
Ooh.
it's
I'm
just
gonna
that
walk out.
they're very difficult to handle. I mean, I know that there's some guardsmen that can sometimes train them and keep them around, but I mean, attempting to take home an owl bear that's completely untrained would be suicide.
I'm gonna go talk to the bartender real quick. Ma'am,
Yes?
how much would it be to rent out a stable for the night?
Well,
oh my god.
what sort of animal do you have stable there? Because we have prices for
This is a
rhino
small one.
stables. We have horse stable.
A horse stable would
How about
be
this
fine.
pig pen right here?
That
Well-
would work too. Just give me your cheapest one.
Well, I suppose 5 silver.
Sweet, thank you. She hands over 5 silver. Walks back, grabs Jason, and takes him to the stable.
instantly wakes up.
What are you doing?
We're going to the stable. Get your shit.
Okay.
Jason
Look
kind
in
of
the
like
stable.
sings. I this was my stop. I don't need to be here with you if you're gonna treat me like this.
Puts him in the stable and locks it.
That
We'll see
he
you in the
just kind
morning.
of slips underneath of the thing because it's the thing underneath is low enough for a human to get through.
Fangtail, he's escaping.
And
This might be your only time to actually be alone with him.
Jason kind of walks back into the room and sits back down with his book.
Fine. Tallulah grabs her stuff and goes to sleep in the stable.
I grab my stuff and go out with Tallulah. Oh,
We paid for beds. I'm using a bed.
I don't need to sleep. Hi, Tallulah.
What the fuck you doing out here?
Keen is gonna try to slip out too. Like, not very well though.
Nori will know. Does Nori actually? Hang on, let's see. Does Nori notice Keen slip out?
Is Nori asleep yet?
No. There's been a conversation happening constantly.
Then you should see Keen slipping out from the side of your eye.
Perception is higher than 9. You saw Keen.
Yeah, passive perception's usually, lowest is usually 10. So
Nori will take a step out, just to see what Keen's doing.
Keen actually seems quite pleased to see you and slips you a note.
Oh.
I guess I'll whisper. I'll whisper you in the chat.
do you need me to move you guys to second Roll20 group?
I guess if it's easier to talk it out, yeah.
All right. There we go.
Keen is gonna like look around to make sure nobody else is hanging around. And he's gonna tell Nori that Fangtail noticed that Jason guy was trying to hide a book when those Minotaurs were searching our carriage.
Oh.
I mean,
Really?
it's Fangtail, but she said the book was kind of sparkly and magic-y looking.
Oh. Well, that's incriminating.
We ought to keep an eye on him.
Agreed. I'll make sure at least someone always got an eye on Jason. Good job.
And then
Keen.
Keen is gonna like walk off like he's going to the bathroom. I guess this is the bathroom down here, whatever. Like just to make it look like he was leaving the room for a
Yeah, the
good reason,
well,
not to be suspicious.
yeah. In the last week, at least, you guys have been getting used to fields and the the wretched old timey bathrooms that are pre-plumbing.
That says outhouse, so I'm assuming that's where Keen's going.
Yeah.
It's like, oh god, it's a hole in the ground.
Nori will go to the bartender.
The bartender's
Alright, I
like,
guess go back up, and I'm gonna go back up into the regular group.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
The bartender kind of looks up at you. Gonna get you something.
What's your strongest drink?
Well, we do have some southern whiskey here if you want.
Oh, please. My party's a mess.
She pours it out and hands it over to him. You want to talk about it, sweetie?
Oh. If you have time.
So, I'm guessing from that accent, you're another one of those treasure hunters that have been coming over from Lauren lately, huh?
Treasure hunters?
Yeah. Yeah, there's been the last couple of months. There's been treasure hunters from your country down this way, looking for old ruins.
Ah, no, I'm not a treasure hunter, no.
Then your friend was serious about dealing with the undead. Just
Yes.
another mercenary
Who-
group.
Well, not a mercenary group. We're actually, instead of just dealing with the undead, we're actually going. We have to try and find out the source of the undead.
Ah. Oh, I see.
My friend misspoke when they said it's killing the undead. We've got a bigger job than just killing them. Orders from the king himself.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, was worried. Well, we've been happy for the new trade lately, the treasure hunters. But there's some folks down here who are already starting to blame the undead on the treasure hunting. Like they think that something woke up and it's one of those old ruins and is now coming to get everybody.
Let us. Can't rule out anything at the moment.
Nope.
When...
Yeah, with
But
all them
at the...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It's like, but at the moment, with the party the way it is, I don't know how much progress we're ever gonna make. We have our guy cat that constantly clinging to people. We have our Varus, our bard that originally.
Well, the bard seemed to play pretty
when he-
well in here, and
Oh, did he?
even impressed
Well,
even impressed the band.
First time he played for us, it was very my poor ears still can't get over the pain. It was really bad the first time he played for us.
Maybe he was trying to impress you and botched it because of that.
Maybe. So you often hear rumors and people talking.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
hear plenty of rumors.
Any rumors, like anything about undead attacks?
Well, you hear the occasional attack of the farms here in the south. Farm here, farm there. It's like, that's just the general rumor. I imagine it's, reached all over at this point. But that's not the sort of rumor you're looking at. You're hoping to hear, right?
Nah, yeah, I'm hoping to have at least something to go on.
And GM will ask you to roll a 1d3.
3.
Well, all right. I don't know if this has anything to do with your undead problem, but I've been hearing people talking lately about the strange noises in the sewers nearby. Not the normal stuff either. Sewers under the city.
Oh,
Weird noises,
yeah?
people whispering, sometimes the sounds of clanking, just some weird stuff. Don't know, it could be anything.
well, anything is better than nothing.
Yeah, I thought you might like that. Now, drink up your whiskey, that'll be 3 silver.
I'll hand over 5 silver.
2 grins. And roll a constitution saving throw to see how well you can do liquor. And you handle it pretty well. You're still nicely sober, even though it's given you a nice bite. And I'm going to go check in on the rest of the party in a minute. Do you have something else you wish to say to her?
No, thank you for hearing me out and for the little bit of information.
Well, that's what we bartenders are good for.
Well, that doesn't mean that you'd have to necessarily exude a intimidating presence. It means that you can simply put on an intimidating air.
So, what are the rest of you guys up to now that Nori's currently drinking away at the bar?
Varus has come to the conclusion that he left his oven on at home and he needs to go home.
Keen was telling them about the bathroom being a hole in the ground, and like Fangtail and Jason are just like, yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, like all of you have been dealing with this for at least for like a couple of days now.
But Keen expected like getting back to like quote unquote civilization that they might have plumbing, but no, it's still a hole in the ground.
Fangtail's basically just cuddling up to Jason.
Varus has decided that he is now going to follow Tallulah around and make sure that nothing bad happens to her while she sleeps.
So, oh god, so basically, Varus is going to act like Galamil, but
Oh no.
Oh no.
Who's Galmil?
kind of scary and a little bit.
He's a ladrin. Uh, because he would only sleep the 4 hours, he would always stand motionless in front of somebody's bed until they woke up.
Yep, yep, that's exactly.
Or
how
he would
Tallulah.
sleep underneath their bed for 4 hours, or basically he had this habit of sleeping in other people's rooms and looming over them while they slept, or sleeping
Is he
under their
gonna-
bed.
Is he gonna start whispering Charles?
Yes, but of course Charles got a makeover once he switched patrons. He went from a great old one to following the traveler, and now Charles has a top hat and a cane. And is a sorry, not Charles. Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim has a top hat and a cane.
Tiny Tim is awesome.
Yes.
Tiny Tim is best Tim.
Yes.
So I guess it's bedtime.
Yep.
Sleep
Unless somebody
it
else has something they wish to do for this particular night.
Cuddling and purring on Jason.
Jason is just going to use you as a blanket at this point.
Yay! I'm on top of him in a way.
Jason's just accepted life.
Yes. Alright, the 4th day has gone by. You guys-
Tallulah!
Why?
We had like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, you guys have 2 weeks, which is actually a total of 20 days by this calendar. So you've only gotten through 4 days at this point.
What, Varus?
I was just making sure that you were waking up. You've been sleeping a long time.
I will smother you in your sleep.
I don't sleep.
I'll smother you when you're awake.
I mean, I
Is the
guess you
sun
could
up
try
yet?
that.
Is the sun up?
Yes. The moons are
I'm-
down and the sun is up.
Tallulah's
There's
gonna get up
sheep
and
outside.
shake off the hay.
Is there hay in places hay shouldn't be?
Who knows?
Like you said?
Stuck,
Who knows?
stuck
No.
inside your shell.
No, Varus made sure that nothing bad happened to her.
And then she's like, I'm going
don't
to
like
get
that.
breakfast.
Just sleeping. And Fangtail, well, she's sleeping and not letting go of Jason.
Jason's wriggling, trying to get out from underneath of her.
No.
Fangtail.
Roll your strength check.
Oh no!
You're
Hold it
negative
again,
4
with
strength or
-3.
whatever.
A rogue's greatest fucking scaring tactics is strength.
Yeah, your
I-
worst fear. Roll
I-
strength.
You can do it.
Strength. Here we go.
Strength check.
Oh,
You were so weak and fast asleep that Jason managed to slip out from underneath of you. And heads
And
to the bar to get some food.
Do you seriously have a 3 in strength?
no, I have a -4 in strength.
That's just your modifier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
do you have a
modifier,
3
right.
in strength?
4, I think.
4 in strength, yeah. No, 3.
He rolled a 3 in the 4D drop 1.
Which means, by the way, if you run into something that saps strength, you're gonna die very quickly.
Nori's
Sadly,
gonna make his way
Because if
through
your strength goes to 0,
the bar.
basically your muscles can't contract, and therefore your heart and your lungs stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Also, Hell would have woken up as early as is reasonable, and he'll already be eating. If anyone comes out to the if anyone comes out to the bar area.
Yep, I think we're all wandering out that way.
Yeah.
Except for one person that you guys don't really care about.
Fast.
Don't worry,
asleep
Tallulah will notice
kitty.
that you're gone and she'll come flinging beds up to find you.
No,
God damn it, I'm
she
not
wa-
under the bed this
she was
time.
on a bed because she was using She's using Jason as a mattress. But she didn't wake up when Jason managed to wriggle out from underneath of her.
You guys, I hope you all had a good evening and a good sleep. I want to say good morning. And also, I think I was a little bit nervous when we first left because I thought it would be dangerous, but we haven't encountered no dangerous things yet.
Well,
I
let
think-
me change that fact.
I think we are safe now.
Did you forget about the skeletons?
I haven't seen any skeletons yet.
Did you forget about our job?
I'm just saying, I think that Alec may have, not Alec, I'm sorry, the king may have overestimated how big this skeleton army was.
We only just entered the southern regions where the skeleton attacks are happening.
Ah,
Face palms.
Speaking of, Keena's gonna ask the bartender if there's like a mayor or like a whatever the leadership of this village is.
Oh yeah, there's most definitely a mayor. God, I could have sworn I had a name for this mayor at some point. Give me a second. Either my notes are just more disorganized, or I wrote it down in a different spot. Let's see. Nope. That looks like I just have characters for midpoint and another area in bottom town. I did not have a listing name for the mayor, but yeah, there's definitely a mayor of this of our city. And he'd be at City Hall.
I'm guessing that's the biggest building in town.
Yeah, it's the centrally located one, thankfully. It's a really old building. It's from the Old Kingdom.
I look
Old
at Nora.
Kingdom.
Shall we?
The Old Kingdom here.
We should probably head over there first.
Toulouse
Nori.
will walk back in. Go next to the bed that Fangtail's in. And just like slam her hands on the bed. Fang!
Fucking jumps up, lands on all fours.
What the fuck?
Come on, we're moving out. Let's go.
I haven't even gotten anything to eat.
I'm gonna toss her a cabbage.
Expect me to eat this?
Ooh.
Takes cabbage back.
I thought this was your food, not.
You do not refuse Tallulah's cabbage.
I mean, I'm just saying it'd be better off if she ate it.
I was trying to be nice. If you don't want my cabbage, then that's fine.
I'll have
About-
a leaf of cabbage.
No, you've lost your chance. Until walks away.
Fucking not Nori. Fucking. Sorry, I got Nori on the mind. Fangtail will run to the bartender. Do you have anything quick that I could just take away?
Like what?
I don't know, like an egg sandwich or something.
I can make you an egg. I've never heard of an egg sandwich before.
God damn. Do we really not have bread?
Egg between two slices of bread. Tallulah walks away.
The bards down south begin playing something. They seem to be singing something. The
Go back
melody,
into the room.
the music is actually quite nice.
Is it the two halflings and a human?
The three halflings and a human.
Three.
Yeah,
Tell Var. Go.
they seem to be singing something you're not familiar with.
Kel is just, finishing his meal and then heading out.
Can I get an egg with 2 slices of bread, please?
All right, fine. It'll be a couple of minutes.
Uh,
We can wait. Don't worry.
thank you.
You really need to start waking up earlier, Fang.
I'm not used to being awake in the morning. I'm usually a nocturnal type.
Well, it's about time you start to become diurnal.
Is that even a word?
Daytime.
Yes.
No more nighttime. We need daytime.
But what if like the skeletons are weaker at night?
That's not
The
how
undead are weaker at
At
night.
night.
I mean, it could make sense. Maybe they can't
Forrest?
see.
Forrest, no. That is not how undead work.
How
I'm
do you
embarrassed
know?
inside.
Oh, are you a necromancer, Nori? Do you know how the undead work?
No, I'm a cleric. Thank you very much.
Necromancer! Necromancer!
I'm gonna walk
The
over
crowd
and
starts
just
looking
put
at there, and the bards even stop playing for a moment, hearing this.
Nori's just face palming.
I'm gonna put my hand over Varus's mouth and I'm gonna drag him out of the tavern.
I apologize for his behavior.
He's gotten hit on the head too many times.
He has.
Yo, what's up, cuz?
If you don't stop acting a fool.
Don't you think it's kind of suspicious, though? Like, he knows about the undead, but how does he know about the undead unless he's a necromancer, yeah?
He's a cleric.
That would explain a lot of things.
You are a fucking idiot.
Agreed.
I may be a fucking idiot, but I can talk myself out of anything.
You couldn't talk your way out of paying for that room.
I mean, essentially, we got it for more than free. Like, they paid us to be there because they gave me 26 gold. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The innkeeper didn't.
I
Yeah,
got
but he
26
also
gold.
has a point.
You know, it
The
also has a
bards
point.
finished their song or story, whatever that was they were doing, as the food comes. 3 silver, please.
Puts a gold coin on the table. Thank you, and just starts running away. Outside, with the egg in between the 2 slices of bread.
The bread's even been toasted,
Woo!
and there's a bit of cheese.
Oh my god, I didn't even ask for this!
Imagine if there was bacon.
And a tiny piece of bacon.
Oh, you're too kind.
Oh, come on, everyone. Time to get moving.
Oh, hey, Nori. Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh my god.
I hope to keep it that way.
Oh, you just playing. Just playing.
Nori, where are we going?
We're going to the mayor's
Okay,
house.
where's that?
Where you're gonna keep your mouth shut.
The big building in the middle, apparently.
Believe me, if I had something to say, I will say it. If I don't, I will not. So I don't have anything to say unless I do come up with something to say, then I will say what I have to say.
As long as you think before you say,
Why did he pick me to follow around?
I don't know.
Why?
They say that people do not choose animals, animals chose people, and you're more like an animal than me, so you chose me.
I look at
Wow,
Nori.
that's rude.
I look at Nori. Can I hit him?
Just make sure it's a very light hit.
Maybe
Uh,
avoid the
why?
head.
Do I see like a pond anywhere?
Actually, roll a perception check. You look around and you see a shrine that's in the middle of what looks like a bit of water. It is clean flowing, and it looks like it's It's the place where a lot of people seem to be coming with buckets to get water.
Oh, you're gonna contaminate their water source. Go for it.
Is there like a horse trough full of water anywhere?
Yes, in the stables area, there's definitely a horse trough.
I'm gonna pick him up and throw him in the horse trough.
Roll athletics check,
Me
both of you.
or me? Athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Oof. Okay.
Oh no.
She's grabbed you, she's picked you up, and she's dropped you in the water.
Go ahead, call me an animal again.
I think that's what to speak for animal.
I dunk his head under again.
Alright, Tallulah, that's enough.
I do it one more time, then walk away.
Jason is just shaking his head at this entire scene.
You got my hair wet.
That's all you care about.
You called me an animal.
Yeah, that's on you.
I mean,
Don't. You're literally digging your grave at this point. I highly
Tallulah,
recommend
like,
you.
stalks towards him. You mean what?
Oh no.
like, I think that you are a beautiful species.
You're an asshole.
I think you are beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with the word animal.
You called me an animal.
There's nothing wrong with an animal. Animals rule the world. People, humans are animals.
Then what are you?
Hey!
I'm an elf.
What happened, dear?
I'm human.
He's getting offended. Listen, can we put a pin in this? We are on a time crunch.
Oh, it's
Yes.
okay. I can walk and argue at the same time.
This is a very what's the word? Unstable group?
Look, cuz, I'm sorry for calling you an animal. It won't happen again.
Name's Kel.
I said cuz.
He was talking to me.
I honestly thought he said Cass. I thought he mixed it up from the other session.
No. Fine. And if you do call me an animal again, I'll show you how long I can hold my breath.
Oh god.
Probably way longer than me.
We might find out.
Shivers.
Let's go to the mayor's house, please.
We make our way to the mayor's house.
Tallulah's just like walking and humming. She's like, it's such a nice day out.
We do have Jason with us, right?
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay, cool.
He snuck off. He said, fuck this.
Oh, if he snuck off, he'll
No.
be a dead man.
No, he's still with you.
If he snuck off.
Because I'm trying to keep my eye on. Be as close to him
So
as
yeah, we make our
possible.
way to the mayor's house.
All right. Yeah, so the city hall is where you said you were headed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the mayor is.
Yeah, so that's where you've been told where the mayor is. So the city hall sits in the center of town. Several guards stand out in front, Minotaur in nicely appointed armor. Like they gaze down at you as you approach. What business do you have in the city hall on this day?
kind of nudges Nori a little bit.
We're here to talk about your skeleton problem.
Yes, we're here to deal with the whole skeleton problem in the south.
We're undead hunters.
And what
Okay.
and what of this requires the attentions of the city hall and local government?
Okay, you don't want our help? That's fine.
Well, we just want to know where the latest attacks have been, like, so,
If we-
so we can investigate.
Yes,
To each
we
other and
need
start discussing. Roll a persuasion check.
I am not persuasive. Where is my persuasion? God, I gotta get some new glasses. Oh, okay, I was persuasive
Oh!
enough.
You're very persuasive. The Minotaurs just kind of look at each other and says, "Well, there was one about a week ago in the farms to the southeast, close to the old forest."
Is that probably about on the map that we have marked
Yeah.
off?
Yep, that is. That was the last one I heard about. What the one guard says.
What about the strange noises in the sewers?
Oh. Well, you should have said you were here about that. Go right in. And kind of step aside.
Oh,
Wait, they have sewers? I didn't think they had plumbing.
Is that where the
I
holes
pooped in a
go?
hole!
They don't just bury it?
come on, guys.
Keen and I look at Keen with like wide eyes, like, what is going on?
And
Okay.
you
Maybe
hear
the
one of the-
civilization that was here beforehand had sewers.
Yeah, and
Who knows?
basically, the sewers, from what you understand, the area where the inn and the inn is seems to be a bit off of the older areas, but basically back where a lot of wooden buildings are. Whereas a lot of the nicer buildings are all in the stone section of the city. And when you started walking along the grates there, you probably subconsciously noticed them and didn't actively notice them. You started seeing little grates and everything like that. Things you would see back home in Amlarn to indicate that there's sewers underneath of you, whereas you didn't see them along the dirt roads up where the inn is. So it's like different sections of town. But you're escorted in, and there's various offices, various halls, and you're led back to one office where the one of the guards leading you in kind of knocks on the door, and you hear a voice inside going, "Yes, what is it?" And you get an answering reply saying, "Sir, we have some people who might be interested in doing a job about the sewers." "Ah, good. Send them on in." And the door opens, and you're shown into a spacious office with a big desk and a halfling man sitting behind it. He just kind of like taps a bunch of papers in front of him with a quill, and kind of looks you guys over. "Ah, mercenaries. You interested in some money, some work?"
Well, more
Yes.
interested.
Yes.
Excuse me. I was speaking.
They offered
More-
us money, and you're going to decline it?
Let me speak, will you?
Fine.
More interested in what might be making the noises that you've heard in the sewers.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's what I'll be paying for. Paying to find out what the hell's going on down there.
What kind of noises?
Well,
Are they squishy noises? Rattly noises?
well,
Squeaky
definitely
noises?
well, there's always squeaky noises. There's some splashing noises, those are to be expected. But people have been saying that they hear whispers coming out from the grates, and sometimes it's these weird rattling noises that have no normal, nothing normal about that. Normally what we hear is the occasional groan, the occasional squeak, normal things like you get from rats, or, the occasional squeaks of some other things that might be down there. And, well, of course, you gotta know that we we do have probably a few otogs down there.
Do you have any people here, any citizens, who are notably bad dancers?
Oh,
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
It
Because
doesn't have anything to do with this.
people who are notoriously bad dancers make necromancers.
I'm
The-
so sorry.
The mayor just kind of narrows his eyes at Varys. I'll have
Oh,
you
it's
know,
just-
sir, not all of us can dance, and we are not necromancers.
Varys,
Yes?
just because your dancing is so bad it makes your parents roll in their graves does not make you a necromancer.
Nah. That's debatable.
Anyway, we'll be happy to investigate the noises.
Ah, good, excellent. Yeah, mostly, and here's what I think. And most of my guards haven't been able to find anything. A couple of them went in, but they didn't go in too far. I mean, well, kind of like looks around and just that with all the trouble coming in from the rest of the South, it's not easy to spare some extra people to go sewer diving. But this is a possible concern, and we think that there might be some kind of thief group taking advantage of the situation or something like that, camping out down there. Who knows? Or maybe some kind of monster might have gotten in. Just do be careful if you go down there. I mean, the otags are kind of necessary for sewer maintenance, but if you get too close to them, they will attempt to eat you. And well, if you kill a couple of them, our sewers will back up inevitably.
The what will try to eat us?
Otags? Roll
What
a
are
roll
those?
roll a nature or arcana check.
Yuki?
Anyone else wish to do so?
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah,
Why
so-
why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
I got the same score in both.
Tallulah doesn't know shit about
Nope.
anything.
Neither do I.
Okay, most of you
I'll-
apparently
I'll
don't watch
do it as
don't
well.
watch. I'm putting Varys because of Varys' actual RP comment as disadvantage, so Varys actually rolled an 8. But Keen, you hear that word and you go, oh yeah, you keep you've seen those like city engineering documentaries and know that the city dump and the sewers are even back in Lauren, that's where you'll find otogs. Otogs tend to get brought in if they're not already quote unquote spawning in there naturally, just to eat down the garbage and eat down the refuse and all that. And there's always big signs up saying "Beware of otog" because of that.
So guys, they're mostly like a tentacle thing that eats poop and trash.
Yummy.
Sometimes
Well,
when I hear of
trying to
things
hold
like
back
that, I wonder what the fuck were the gods thinking?
I mean, it keeps the sewers at home clean.
I guess so, but still. If I was God, I would make things much more beautiful.
They're like unicorns that eat poop.
Jason just stares at Keen with an open mouth.
Varus is doing the same. Because as a player, I did that.
Oh god.
You just hear Tallulah go, what?
Well, he said they should be prettier, but something still gotta eat poop, right?
So technically, they're not actually that bad. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well,
Or can they be bad?
they'll eat anything, which means they'll eat you if you get too close to them. But they'll eat, they'll eat they'll eat the poop, they'll eat the rats, they'll eat anything.
They're a cleaner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That also.
I'm getting I'm getting a very labyrinth vibe when they're
Mhm.
running from the cleaner.
Why do I feel like that's foreshadowing, actually?
Oh,
Yep.
well,
Probably
Otogs
because it is.
don't really run very fast. They tend to stay in one spot. They can move.
Are
It's not
we?
like it's not like they're anchored there.
Are we gonna end up in the bog of eternal stench? Look,
Have
we don't
showers here. Are we really gonna go in the sewer?
have Zerk with us, so rocks are not friends.
Keen.
Kobold?
Keen.
Emmy?
Hello?
What? Am I not hearing me? Sorry. Did my mic cut out?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Sorry.
Keen. I have a question for you.
Shoot. Sure.
When this is all over, what do you say? You and I go back home. We start a business where we make unicorn poop eaters.
How would you do that?
I don't know.
I mean,
I was hoping-
we could glue horns to Odiogs or Otogs or however you say the name.
Oh my god.
Varys, roll me a history check.
History,
Yep.
okay.
Rolling to see if you have heard stories about how much of a bad idea that was.
No, nothing comes to mind. Nothing new. No new information.
So, Keen, keep that in the back of your mind. We go home, we make unicorn poop cleaners.
Sure. Even if it means spray painting them and putting horns on them.
Well,
Are you gonna glue glitter to them too?
If we can get close enough without getting eaten.
or have you ever heard of the war forges? Maybe we can make something similar to a war forge, except instead of a humanoid, it's a unicorn and it eats poop.
But guys, just remember, in a sewer, if it's knee deep on you, think about me.
You can just ride on my back.
That's why
I
you're the
know.
brains, and I'm the
You
I'm
are not the brawn.
I'm the business negotiator, and
Guys.
Tallulah, my cousin, she's actually my sister, is going to be the brawn.
Guys.
What?
I
What?
don't want to go in there.
We're going.
We're going.
I don't want to get dirty.
Well, then maybe if you do, maybe Jason will help clean you.
Jason thinks for a moment and says, "Well, you could probably ride on the turtle's back."
Looks at the turtle.
Fine.
Yeah!
But if you kick me like a horse and say giddy up, I'm tossing your ass off.
I wouldn't think of it. You're not a horse.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes.
over here, I understand that you guys aren't quite as developed as Unlarn, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I was wondering, do you happen to have
Twitch.
war forges here?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Ah, well, when we're done with our business here, I will bring some, and I will start a business for you, and you will make lots of money because lots of people will buy them.
Roll.
Oh.
Varys, roll me a history, another history check.
A history check, okay?
All right. So at this point, you're gonna have to roll a deception check.
Okay.
You can do it. Nice.
All right. So everyone else is probably astounded that Varys somehow knows how to make warforges, because nobody has figured out how to do that since the Sundering, 6,000 years ago, which was the last time that Warforges were known to make. In fact, the only Warforges that are in existence now are ones that have been dug up and somehow reanimated since then. There have been things Warforged adjacent that have been created, basically robots, but they don't seem to be sentient of any kind. Warforged, on the other hand, do seem to possess a soul, which makes them special because they're capable of wielding magic. Whereas robots, from all understandings, is that they have no individual sentience, no soul, no capability of using magic.
So they're like toolboxes?
Yeah, basically. But Warforged do exist. They have been known in the world, but no one has figured out how to make new ones.
Except apparently Varys now,
No,
according to the rest of the group.
Yeah, very now the entire group, because of that deception check, and the mayor here believes that Varys somehow knows how to make Warforged.
So, what do you say when we're done with this business? I come back.
No, I
bring...
don't. I don't believe you.
Oh, except for
I'm not
Nuri.
gonna say that loud,
Except for
but-
Nuri.
Damn.
So I can at least attempt to insight it.
You have to get at least a 26.
That.
Oof.
So all the crits out of combat. But still not enough. Darn.
I'm just like Nori's just looking at
Yeah.
Boris confused.
Mayor? Well, what is your name? It's rude to call you just Mayor.
I'm Cade. Cade Lightfoot. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. So, what do you say about this business deal?
That would be amazing. I've heard stories, legends of Warforged, but I didn't think anyone knew how to make one.
No, I
Yeah,
do.
neither did I.
I am going to have to charge some sort of down payment. So, what do you think is fair?
Well, I'll have to see a sample, and then I'll be able to pay for one.
Okay, I'm going to. I actually have one right outside in our carriage.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh.
Nori.
So I'm
Nori
gonna
is-
walk out. I'm gonna walk
no,
out,
What are you doing?
and I'm going to walk out and use. No, oh wait, Mayor Kate. Now I will not be able to enter with it because I'm still in the demos of it. I have to control it from the outside. Okay. And then I'm gonna cast Disguise Self as a Warforged.
Roll it. Okay.
And then I'm going to walk back in and talk as a Warforged and say, "Hi, Mayor Cade. This is Varys speaking from the outside."
The mayor looks astounded. He looks like he thoroughly believes you, and is like, "Wow!" And he rises up from his seat. But I thought Warforged were supposed to have their own mind. They weren't like golems. How are you controlling
Nori
one?
is just looking more concerned that
This
Well,
is
it's
just
gonna
a
screw us.
prototype. But
So it's a golem then?
eventually
He-
we
the- the-
will be
The
Warforged.
mayor gets up from behind the desk and just reaches up to touch the supposed Warforged.
I try to take a step back as quickly as possible.
Sir, please don't touch the merchandise.
All right.
Not until it is paid for.
At this point, roll persuasion with advantage.
Me or Tallulah?
Either one of you.
Go ahead, Caleb.
Persuasion. Oh my god.
But we should have 14.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
How much are you going to sell them for? What's the down payment like? How much do you need for a down payment?
Just 100 gold.
All right. I guess I can afford that. That's how much I was gonna pay whoever went down to the sewers to figure out what was going on down there. And he goes back to his desk. He pulls it open and pulls out 10 pieces of platinum.
And I hold out my hand as a Warforged.
The mayor slides the pieces across the desk.
Thank you. Now I must go back and rest. And Varys, the master, must come back.
Fucking hell.
Tallulah looks at the mayor and is like, "Pleasure doing business with you," and
So,
follows
so
what
are
she thinks
you?
is a wolf.
He yells out as you try to leave. Are you going to check out the sewers or not?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Nori hasn't left yet. He's
Then he looks
mouth
towards Nori.
open as this has happened.
I follow Varys outside.
Keen just looks completely confused.
And I high five Tallulah.
What did I just witness?
Tallulah just holds out her hand.
I hand her 5 platinums.
The mayor just kind of looks confusedly at Nori. Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong with the merchandise?
Caleb and I are never going to be able to play in a campaign together again.
Well,
Bonnie and Clyde.
That's... What? Hold on. I'm still trying to process what I just witnessed. Hold on. So, Varys said that he knew how to make warforges, left, brought in what would be more of a golem, and passed it off as a warforge.
Sounds about right.
Yes, basically. But it's just in the prototypes. He's still working on the final product.
That's not how. That's
Yes, exactly. But it worked.
The question is, Nori, are you saying this in front of the mayor, who is starting to give a very suspicious look?
Nori's a lawful person. This is against this is unlawful behavior here.
Yeah, you just saw your partner your partner con this mayor. No,
Are there any open windows?
no, the mayor's chamber is basically in the middle of the building.
So I wouldn't hear Nori saying this, would I?
No, you guys went outside.
I think
onto the
just
street.
Keen and Nori are the only, and maybe Kel. I think you're in there.
I think Jason followed you guys out. He's like very confused.
King,
Yeah, I'm with Jason.
you saw the exact same thing I did, right?
I don't know if he realized though. I didn't roll an insight. I don't think he would have.
Yeah, deception of 26. So
Yeah, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
Yeah, but still, like that. You saw what I just saw, right?
Keen nods. He's like, "Where did he get that thing? What? We don't even have a carriage."
He doesn't even know how to make it.
what? The mayor is just like staring, just, like thinking for a moment, and he's got this look on his face, going, "Do I believe I'm dreaming? Do I call the guards? What do I do here?" The mayor looks very confused.
So does Nori.
Dear,
He's
what is-
honestly more surprised that they actually pulled it off more than anything at the moment.
Dear, what's Kel doing?
Kel?
Yeah, where's Cal in all this?
Kel
Is he muted?
is.
Oh, there he is.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear you.
Hi.
Kel is going to draw his crossbow and point it at Varys. You need to return that platinum to the mayor.
I'm outside.
Immediately.
The
Uh-huh.
guards suddenly go on high alert, seeing a crossbow being drawn. Hey, what seems to be the problem here?
He's pointing a crossbow at me.
Sir, put the crossbow down!
Is he still disguised as the Warforged? And you're pointing a crossbow at him?
Doesn't
I would
sound
drop
like it.
as
dropped
soon as
it.
I walked out of the room.
I will lower it. He just scammed your mayor.
What? They surge forward towards Varys.
Tallulah just walks away. Like, bitch, you on your own.
I'm going to try to. Are there? I'm assuming they're blocking the doorways.
You guys are outside. They were standing in front of the building, protecting the entrance. They are now advancing on you.
All right, I'm gonna try to.
Now would be a good time.
Are there people? Are there people walking on the street?
Yeah, of course there are.
All right, I'm going to try to get away from them, blend in with people, and then
You're gonna
use
pull it.
my...
You're gonna pull an Assassin's Creed. Okay.
Yes, and then try to like duck down and change myself into one of the commoners, using disguise self again.
The Assassin's Creed runaway method versus the Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row run away from the cops method. All right.
But how well does he get away?
I'm going to roll an intelligence check to see if they figure it out. And what's your DC?
14.
Ooh. So the one Minotaur guard comes stalking, looks left, looks right at the crowd, and stalks right up to you and reaches out a hand to grab you.
I'm gonna be like, no, because I'm disguised as like a female, like human. Like, what are you doing? I've done nothing.
Ha! That disguise is not fooling me. I saw you well enough, elf. And he reaches out a hand to grab you. Roll acrobatics to attempt to get away from the grab.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this one's stronger. I rolled an 18, and that's not even adding on the bonuses from being a Minotaur. He reaches down, grabs you, picks you up, shakes you a little bit. Not even sure what kind of elf you are. You're a bit strange for the elves I've ever seen.
What can I say? Genetics.
And he just kind of drags you back to the, he starts dragging you off towards another building that seems to have barred windows in one part of it. And I think this sounds like a good place to stop for the night. Varys being arrested.
You scammed the bloody mayor!
Well, silver lining. Tallulah still has 5 of the platinum, so...
Oh my god.
Oh. We're supposed to be doing good relationships here, not ruining the relationship between the two kingdoms, two nations.
He left.
Oh, Caleb, no!
Caleb, no! Oh, poor Caleb.